This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Sunny and 36 today with the 6 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Graham Goodings.
From chips to replacements, make Complete Windscreens your insurer repairer of choice. CompleteWindscreens.com.au.
A police hunt continues for a gunman after a shooting at an underground car park on Green Hill Road yesterday. They're looking for a person who opened fire on a man and a woman who had arrived at the MTA building in a Mercedes around 8 a.m. Detective Chief Inspector Peter Dionce said the shooting was not a random attack and they're asking for any information that may help their investigation.
Detectives are seeking any witnesses, CCTV and dashcam recordings of any motorist who was travelling along Green Hill Road or in Selby Street at the time of these incidents. Any information should be provided to Crime Stoppers.
Dentists are alarmed at the damage being done to the teeth of young patients who vape. The Australian Dental Association says vapes are wrecking the teeth and jaws of young people in a way often seen with illicit drugs, including cocaine and methamphetamine. The damage is occurring so fast, users aged in their 20s are requiring crown work, which is usually seen only in older patients. Detectives will return to a rural property in southern New South Wales to continue searching for the bodies of a Sydney couple allegedly killed by a service police officer. Alex Henke reports from Bungonia.
Police are no closer to finding the bodies and the families are no closer to getting the answers they so desperately need. But the theory is that the alleged killer did dump the bodies here, but returned later and moved them to another location. Now, authorities say that the alleged killer does have some sort of link to this area, but we called the owner of the property and he told us that he has no idea who these men are and why police are searching for bodies in his front yard. But either way, police will return to this property to continue the line search.
Analysis of pay rates in major companies across Australia shows airlines, banks and construction have the worst gender pay gaps. Virgin Australia has a gap of 41%, with Qantas not far behind. The national average pay gap sits at 12%. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
And now here's Tom Redden.
Thank you, Graham. India has beaten England by 5 wickets in the fourth test to claim an unassailable 3-1 series lead. Shubman Gill finished on 52 not out for the home side. Let's go to football, and Jordan Dawson and Connor Rosie are back in Adelaide following the Captain's Day in Melbourne yesterday. Meantime, Melbourne skipper Max Gawn admits his relationship with exiled teammate Joel Smith is strained. That's as a result of several drugs allegations made against him. Smith remains provisionally suspended for allegedly testing positive to cocaine on a match day and is now facing accusations of drug trafficking. Gawn says there's only so much he's allowed to do considering the ban.
I will still see Joel. I'll see Joel for the rest of my life. Young family, friends of my young family. Certainly there's aspects that are difficult. We're not allowed to train or talk football with Joel. That's one of the rules, so that does put a strain on that relationship. But you're certainly allowed to check in and do all that, so that is something I'm doing.
English Premier League club Everton has successfully had its points penalty reduced on appeal. The Toffees had been docked 10 points earlier this season, but have now had that reduced to 6. It means they're now 5 points clear of the relegation zone, up into 15th place. Tennis veteran Andy Murray has hinted he only has a few months left of his career. And Tokyo Olympian Kiana Elliott narrowly won gold in her category at the Oceania weightlifting titles, lifting 97 kilos in the snatch and 114 kilos in the clean and jerk. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. And now looking at the FIVEAA forecast.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
Sunny and 36 today. Tomorrow, a morning cool change, sunny and 31. Thursday, cloud clearing to 27. Friday, mostly sunny and 29. Right now in Adelaide, it's 23. More news as it happens on FIVEAA.
CMAX Clinical Research are calling all generally healthy adults aged 18 to 65 to take part in important medical research. An exciting opportunity to trial a potential medication that could decrease the risk of a coronary artery disease for people who have predisposed risk factors. Stay at CMAX for 2 consecutive nights and days and attend up to 12 visits to help pave the future of modern medicine. All eligible participants are paid for their time. Interested? Apply for C08123 at cmax.com.au.
Tina. The Tina Turner musical is rolling into Adelaide in April and final performances have just been announced. This heart-pumping production celebrates the inspiring life story of the Queen of Rock and Roll. Featuring more than 20 of her iconic songs, Tina is guaranteed to raise the roof at the Festival Theatre. Opens April 24. Book now at Ticketek. It's simply the best.
Is your bloated belly making you feel fat and miserable? Introducing new Caruso's Bloaties. Caruso's Bloaties contains peppermint and ginger, which are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to relieve belly bloating, plus digestive enzymes to help your body digest lactose and fat. So if you're fed up with your bloated belly making you feel fat and miserable, try Caruso's Bloaties today. Caruso's Bloaties is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Fair Price Blinds offer a huge range of indoor and outdoor window coverings right here in Adelaide. As the weather cools down, we're celebrating with a mega end of summer sale. Grab a bargain on outdoor blinds, including zip track and zip screen, awnings, roller shutters, and veranda blinds to all your indoor essentials, including roller blinds, plantation shutters, and more. As a proud South Aussie business, we understand the needs for your home this autumn. Browse our product range online or visit our Kilburn showroom today. fairpriceblinds.com.au.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
6 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Tuesday on 5AA Breakfast. It is the 27th of February and we have a big morning ahead. Tell you what, you've got a big day ahead if you're going to Pink tonight. We'll be crossing live to the Adelaide Oval before 7 o'clock today. Also coming up, the latest on the Greenhill Road shooting that took place almost 24 hours ago now, throughout the morning yesterday. Police still searching for the person responsible. There's some promising leads. The CCTV shows a car being torched and someone that's identifiable. It's not a random attack, that much we do know, but we'll talk more about that over the course of the morning too. There's a heap going on right around Adelaide today, so we'll get you across all of that and look forward to our conversations with you, as always, 218-223-0000. You can text us on the Duttons text line, 0448 08 1395, fresh from Sydney, fresh from swifting it up. David Penberthy's back on the program. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Will. Great to be back here. Thanks again to you, Will, for accommodating my absence and for doing such a great job yesterday with my much better half, Kate, who on debut I thought she did a great job. I listened to the last hour of the show.
Yeah, it was good fun.
And I loved the Galar interview. But I tell you what, though, this is like a parallel universe. Who would have thought that of all the members of this team, it would be me who's responsible for maintaining the moral fibre of the 5AA Breakfast Show?
The language factor.
The moment I walk out of here, everything goes to. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, it's not one you can use, probably.
No, well, it's not one I would use. Well,
yes.
Because I think there are certain...
Went to rack and ruin.
Rack and ruin. Went to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
The parrot-inspired profanity that marred yesterday's program was frankly appalling. In fact, I tuned in. I watched on the. I was in bed. We had a late night, crikey. Have you ever seen 83,000 people try to catch a train at the same time?
So it's like the grand final crowd, except at a grand final, half the crowd stays to celebrate.
Well, the difference is 50% of the crowd weren't unhappy the other night.
Yeah.
It was the most passive, joyous, happy crowd you've seen. It'll be pretty big tonight down the road. What are they expecting for Pink? It's going to be at least
56,
40.
I think.
Is it that many?
Yeah, something.
Well, that's up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
56,000 people.
More than 56,000 have already been sold. That's a big concert.
And of them, probably, I reckon half would be getting the train.
Yeah, there's free public transport after, let me see, 3 o'clock today, I believe. So if you're going to the concert, you can get there by jumping on the bus and train. And
all you do is show your concert ticket.
Yeah,
and you're away. But yeah, no. So anyway, PM, yeah. after finally getting back to the hotel at 1, and then ordering some food that didn't come till 5 to 2 in the morning. My daughter wanted a bit of pizza before bed because we hadn't had dinner. So I woke up, having had 5 or so hours sleep, to hear the parrot interview, you and Kate. And one of the first things I heard was the elderly lady dropping the D-bomb on air.
There was a few too.
I like that line. Is it okay to swear if you're quoting a bird?
I think that's the rule. There wasn't the only thing, Kate, to challenge some of your 5AA Breakfast orthodoxy on. We got onto John Howard. Are you aware of this?
Oh, yeah, I caught a little bit of this.
We're not that boring that we're constantly talking about news poll and the like, but he does have a framed photo of him and John Howard in my house, which...
Yeah, that must be hard.
It's out of my sight. It's in his private area, and sometimes, like, his face does light up when he speaks about John Howard.
Oh, he loves John Howard.
He loves John Howard.
He really does.
And I have some different views.
Yeah, you love him less.
I think that is a nice way of putting it. So, no, we don't often fight about politics.
She does love him less. Where's this idea come from that I've got a private area at home?
I want to hear more about who else lives in your private area.
Private area? Make it sound like something untoward's being hidden there. A stack of nudie mags or something.
No, it's worse than that. It just sounds like you've got a shrine to conservative Australia.
Oh, that's right. You should see my Corey Bernardi picture.
You've got your Andrew Bolt clippings in that room.
Oh yeah, no, it was good fun though. It was good fun being away, but it's good fun being back as well.
Big concert in Adelaide tonight, as we've mentioned. The Pink is on tonight. Graham from Millicent. Sounds like you're driving from Millicent to get here, Graham.
Yeah. No, I'm waiting for the sun to rise. I actually live on a farm, and I've got to go around cows and everything, and then we're heading off.
So, are you a fan, Graham, or are you doing this for your kids? What's the backstory, mate?
Well, it's a bit of a family outing. Yeah, a daughter and my partner and I are heading up. And,
that's great.
4-hour drive, and stay tonight and then head back tomorrow and round the cows again tomorrow.
What's the weather looking like down there, Graham? Because the CFS are pretty concerned about your neck of the woods for the next 48 hours.
Yeah, a bit of wind, but it's not too bad. It's still dark down here, so you can't really see a lot out the windows. But as I said, looking forward to going up there, waiting for the sun to rise so we can check these cows out. We got cows. I nearly finished calving and just got to check them and then jump in the bus and off we go.
How often do you get up to Adelaide, Graham, for concerts and things like that? Is it a bit of a special occasion doing this?
Yeah, it is a special occasion. Yeah, life on the farm's pretty hectic and we don't get many opportunities to get away, and It's one of them special times and looking forward to it.
Oh, good on you, mate. Yeah, well, you'll have a lot of fun. Good to do things like that when you can with your loved ones. Terrific.
Safe travels, Graham. The official sunrise this morning is 7:01, so about 50 minutes before you can officially start that journey.
I like this one from Rob. Once again, re-Sydney weather. Couldn't Adelaide make a case that we're a better venue for outdoor concerts to entice the big acts to come here instead of Sydney, and they can spend their dollars coming to Adelaide instead of the reverse? That's a good point, Rob. Friday was a disaster in Sydney. They had to evacuate the entire...
That was the night Stacey Lee was there.
Oh,
she was on yesterday, and she said she wasn't on the ground. She was up in the stands, so she didn't have to move. But yeah, they evacuated the entire ground area of the stadium because of the lightning and what was going on.
Yeah, we were lucky because it was perfect weather on Sunday. But when it's... See, the thing is, like, even when it rains in Adelaide, generally you can walk from, one end of the Rundle Mall to the other in the rain and not end up looking like a drowned rat.
Yep.
But when it comes down in that sort of subtropical way in Sydney, you know all about it. But again, they get the storms and the wind. And as Mally said over summer, how often is the cricket at the SCG a total catastrophe in January? They should actually play it in winter.
I don't mind the logic of that text, though. I mean, it is 60,000 people, 70. Well, what happened was 83,000 people turn up. It's 83,000 people, not 5 million that turn up. If Taylor Swift had held those concerts in Adelaide, all those people would have come to Adelaide. When you're that big, it doesn't matter where you really host it in terms. You don't need to go to a major population centre. The major population centre comes to you.
That's right. And I think, if we've learnt anything worldwide over the last 6 months, it's that Taylor Swift could hold a concert in Mogadishu. And,
she'd sell it out.
People go, I'm going to Somalia. I've always wanted to go to Mogadishu.
Keep the texts coming in this morning.
Stay in Mogadishu.
No.
Have any of our listeners ever been to Mogadishu?
It is our reference point often, isn't it, for Timbuktu?
This might be the Venn diagram that doesn't exist. FIVEAA listeners who've been to Mogadishu.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. Some of them might be from Mogadishu.
Yeah, we'd love to hear
because we've got a big Somali community.
Yeah, if that's the case, give us a call. Tell us about Mogadishu. We're going to check news headlines in just a moment, but if you've got a text for us, you can send it through thanks to Dutton's, Big 10 Ford, Jidam, Haval, Hyundai, Isuzu, Ute, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Ram, Subaru and Volkswagen. Dutton's, easy to do business with.
Would you like to feel better, be happier, or carefree?
Do you have too much to do?
And too little time? Look around your home.
Look around your office.
Notice all the things you don't want or need
or use.
You're going to feel great when you get rid of all that dead weight.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We're going to make that dead weight disappear. You've never been happier.
Streamline your home.
Streamline your life. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1800gotjunk.com.au.
Get a read on your year. Get better at money stuff. Get a different point of view. Get your travel on and get in the game. Get school lunches absolutely nailed. Get more out of 24 with The Advertiser. We're for you.
It's time to give uncomfortable dentures and failing teeth the flick. Modern dentistry's come a long way and you deserve better. At Next Smile Australia, get long-lasting teeth, a smile you want to show off, and the foods you love are back on the menu.
Next Smile Australia offer the original all-on-4 dental implant procedure, and it's transformed teeth replacement for over 25 years. Performed by dedicated all-on-4 surgeons with over 4 decades experience and with a clinically proven 98% success rate, it's no surprise this is the gold standard of all-on-4 procedures.
But you can only get this level of experience in one place, and that's Next Smile Australia. Get back to living your best life. To book a complimentary in-person consultation, go to nextsmile.com.au.
When you're on more than one prescription, the dollars start to add up. At National Pharmacies, we give the full dollar back to our members on every PBS copay prescription at every store, every day. Because at National Pharmacies, we understand that every dollar counts.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
17 after 6, news headlines on this Tuesday morning. Police continuing to investigate a shooting incident at Wayville yesterday morning. Hunting a gunman after shots were fired in an underground car park on Greenhill Road. Police say it was not a random attack, and they're asking for any information that may help their investigation.
What does that mean in this context, not a random attack? So, because do they know who the gunman is? Or maybe the people who were shot at have said, look, we think it's this person.
I think they work. There was a suggestion yesterday that one of the businesses, the host of businesses that are in there, but they're a disability support group. And it sounds as though the people that led the police through the scene may have known who the person was.
Oh, okay.
Or may have had a suspicion about who it was.
So that still raises more questions.
Absolutely it does.
Someone who's in the area? Someone who's in the workplace?
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
someone who's in a relationship with someone.
We don't know if it's in a professional sense they know them, or if it was
Tell you what though, you get back from Sydney and find out my quiet little neck of the woods has suddenly turned into South Central LA with shootings happening in car parks. Like, I think until yesterday, the most exciting thing that ever happened there was that there was a heated disagreement once at the Ginger's coffee shop. Like, that's bizarre. And for the parents of kids who go to Annesley, because it's literally metres away. And
it was 8 a.m. when it happened.
Yeah, it was school drop-off time. It's crazy.
A woman is in hospital after a shark attack on the West Australian coast. The 46-year-old was in waist-deep water when she was bitten by a 2-metre-long tiger shark at Jurien Bay, 200 k's north of Perth. The woman was part of a tour group preparing to go snorkelling. She was flown to hospital with serious leg injuries.
Oh, preparing to go snorkelling.
I reckon that's...
You're just getting ready, you're wetting your mask and you're checking the little...
You're in waist-deep water. You think you're pretty safe.
2 metres long. Tiger shark.
I reckon that's... I wouldn't want to be a snorkelling operator in that area.
No.
For now.
Telling people like they've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to see some fish.
I don't know. What are the odds?
True. Yeah, absolutely right. Jurien Bay. I wonder if any of our listeners have been to that part of Australia. 200 k's north of Perth.
Durian, like the fruit.
It might be pronounced. It's a J. Jurien.
Have you ever eaten a durian?
Yeah, I have. Smelling a durian's worse than eating it. It's not my cup of tea.
The taste is so weird, isn't
it? This morning, Scott Morrison will mark an end to 16 years in Parliament by giving a farewell speech. Sounds like it's going to be a doozy, too.
Yeah, he's going to go throwing a few haymakers.
The 53-year-old Liberal backbencher is heading to a job in defence consultancy.
Aren't they all?
There's no date yet for a by-election in the seat of Cook. Yeah.
How does it work? How does it work? One day you're a politician designing public policy, then you're out there making vast personal wealth from ringing all your old mates. Bit cute, isn't it?
I'm guessing it's not a French defence firm that he's working for.
Yeah, that's right.
Very
much doubt that.
An Aussie pilot has been freed after a harrowing abduction in Papua New Guinea, which saw him allegedly kidnapped at gunpoint. GNP's chief of police has confirmed the pilot was taken with 2 locals at a remote telecommunications site while the helicopter was taking a scheduled stop. Security forces were used to rescue the trio, who escaped without injury. What is going on in Papua New Guinea at the moment?
Well, that incident 2 weeks ago, what was the death toll from that? 30 people?
Yeah.
Crazy. There's suggestions too that, well, there's question marks rather at how they're getting their hands on high-powered weapons now too.
Taylor Swift has ended her run of shows after playing her 7th show last night in Sydney. It's believed she's already left the country, headed for 6 concerts in Singapore. Wouldn't that be great to see? The Swift effect has reportedly boosted the New South Wales economy by $145 million. For Taylor Swift, she'll likely earn around $25 million for every concert. That's handy.
$25 million.
That's according to Forbes. Then each show, that must be just tickets. Each show is also expected to rake in $2 million in merchandise sales. So $25 million, times 6 in Australia is $150 million.
The queue to get into merchandise at that concert was bigger than most concerts I've ever been to. Like there was a giant tent that looked like there was a circus performance happening at it, and all it was selling was shirts and bags, and the queue, like literally, it was crazy. But this is it, the flight back from Sydney yesterday. A lot of people talk about, geez, Taylor Swift's doing all right making money out of this. Well, I'd say our tickets, $79 each.
That's not bad at all.
$79. The flights, I am not going to tell you on air how much money we had to give to Qantas to get there and back.
Because you made a late decision to get there, didn't you? So
I should be overseas, somewhere distant.
Is that why you've got stitches in the side of your torso, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, had to go to Darlinghurst and get rid of one of the old kidneys to pay for the flights.
So if she makes $25 million a concert, by the time these Sydney concerts, the Singapore concerts are done, she'll have made somewhere in the order of $325 million.
Well, we stayed at Ridges in Surrey Hills, so that was like pretty good. That was $470, which is actually like cheap for a hotel in the midst of all this madness. But there was this lovely lady in the lift I was talking to her. She was a grandma, and she'd brought her 3 granddaughters from Alice Springs, and we did the bracelet swap in the lift at the Ridges Hotel. And I said, are you going tonight? She said, we've had a crazy time. She said, we accidentally came yesterday because we thought we were going last night, but we weren't. We're going tonight, so we had to get one more night's accommodation. So she's had to pay for 2 more rooms. Luckily, they had free ones. But this is it. That's. And again, this is what the argument was last election for SA. If you do have a stadium, that's the sort of activity that you can get. Although, in Swifty's case now, she's at the point where she's not going to do concerts unless there's more than 70,000, 80,000 people at it. Because she didn't go to Perth. She didn't go to Brisbane.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that's right. She doesn't need to.
Nothing's big enough for her now, unless you're a mega city.
Dentists are alarmed at the damage being done to the teeth of young patients who vape. News Corp reporting vapes are wrecking the teeth and jaws of young people in a way often seen with illicit drugs, including cocaine and methamphetamine. The damage is occurring so fast, users aged in their 20s are requiring crown work, which is usually seen in older patients.
Wow.
David has been to Jurien Bay in Western Australia. David, good morning to you.
Yeah, hi, good morning. Yeah, I have been to Jurien Bay.
What's it like, mate?
It's like a beachside holiday town for people from Perth. So the weekends and everything, everyone escapes Perth and ends up in Jurien Bay.
So it's not that far away from Perth?
Especially not from the northern suburbs of Perth.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, people get up there for the weekend. I was actually over there during COVID. I was working on construction of a wind farm. So it was COVID time. There was no one in the town. So we had all the accommodation. So, yeah, I was like going to all the beaches and the jetties and fishing. And, it's a really nice place.
So you went for a swim, did you, David?
I did go for a swim a couple of times.
Would you go for a swim now, given what's just happened?
I'm not sure if I want to swim anywhere.
I'm with you, mate.
I mean, even around South Australia, I like my kayak and I like swimming, and then just lately it's a little bit nervous.
Well, David, we'll give you a FIVEAA breakfast mug to facilitate your transition to living indoors. Thank you, David. Appreciate that.
Being in Perth during COVID, you're probably used to living indoors.
23.5 degrees outside in the city at the moment. Heading for a top of 36 today, so forecast max about 10 degrees hotter than yesterday. There's going to be a cool change tomorrow, but with it will come some wind, and the CFS are concerned about that. We're going to chat with them over the course of the morning. 31 the expected top tomorrow, Thursday 27, Friday 29. Coolish sort of a weekend given what we've had, 25 on Saturday and 26 Sunday, and then up to 29 on Monday. Tom Reena's in the FIVEAA Breakfast studio with us. Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors, gliderol.com.au. Morning to you, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. Good to have you back, although it was lovely to have Kate in yesterday.
She said you had a good chat.
No, she's a natural. She nailed it.
She's right, isn't it?
Yeah, she loved it. Her and Will, great partnership. But, boys, Sam Pepper Tribunal tonight, straw poll, how many?
Well, I don't know. You've got to take the guy's record into it. He's not a dirty player. I've always liked Sam Pepper a lot.
Yeah.
But I do think, Sam, have you been paying attention? Crikey, Brayshaw, last Thursday, wasn't it?
He couldn't.
Next day, the trial game. Mate, get into the media cycle a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because you're not reading the zeitgeist on this one very well.
I thought it was good yesterday. He got on the front foot, didn't he? You know, got to training, and as you know, when cameras are waiting, it's easy to just go the other way.
Hey, you know what? It's an aside to this whole thing, because this is a football act and it's a Tron trial. The progress that bloke has made as a speaker, he was really impressive yesterday.
And it felt genuine, didn't it?
Totally,
It wasn't like...
The club's done really well.
He wasn't reading from a statement saying, I am sorry. You know, it was genuine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he reached out to him post-game. So, look...
All that said, it's 4 weeks.
It's 4 weeks. Yep.
Is it that much?
Yeah,
I think
it
so.
will be. Well,
Really?
Isn't it, Rennie? I was thinking this.
They seem to be trying to massage it down to 2 somehow.
Well, he can serve 1 next week, can't he?
AFL's discretion that, yes.
Right.
So
they might say 4 for the headline, and it'll actually be 3.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, so that he'll only miss 3 weeks of the actual season, because who cares about this week?
Exactly.
Right? So,
I reckon he's the kind of guy, like, if through some weird quirk of fate, Sam Pepper ended up playing for the Adelaide Football Club, I reckon most Crows fans will sense would go, oh, yeah.
Oh, you'd love him.
Because he's a great player.
Yeah.
And he, as I said...
He's their barometer.
He's not a dirty bloke.
No.
He's a fair player, he's a hard player.
Yes.
But he's got no track record, so that needs to be taken into account, doesn't it?
Yeah. And so
it
might be
these
3...
days? Is it still taken into account, or is the head so sacred that it doesn't matter first offence, you're in the put?
I'm not sure if it matters perhaps as much as it once did, but he nonetheless is in trouble. It's 3 to 4 weeks, isn't it? So we'll wait and see there.
But it's a big moment, isn't it? Like beyond Port, the AFL will be going, we can't have a situation where one day Brayshaw quits, the next day there's happening in a trial game.
Yesterday they prepared their brief of evidence that they put into court regarding the Max Rook case, talking about who's responsible for head knocks.
It feels
and guess what? The AFL said the AFL's not responsible for head knocks.
Yeah, the clubs are.
It's clubs and players.
Yeah, right.
So it feels like they're going to lay down a marker, doesn't it? That, you know, this isn't going to be tolerated. We have to come out strong. I think so,
yeah.
And that's why I worry. I hope it's not anything beyond what we've just mentioned.
How can the AFL, that ultimately organises and profits from the game, not be responsible?
I think it's an outrageous suggestion.
That's like saying British American tobacco can't be blamed for lung cancer. It's the people who sell the cigarettes.
Yeah, they were the ones that sold the Hard Knocks of the 90s VHS, the AFL.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. What they're arguing, which on some
saying,
level...
you know, On the Run are the only people, or, you know, 7-Eleven or any convenience store are the only people that can be prosecuted for cancer.
Distinguishing between
aren't.
Distinguishing clubs and the AFL, the line is different based on which club we're talking about. Let's say the Crows got sued for $1 million. Well, the Crows did the wrong thing. Who pays if North Melbourne gets sued $1 million for doing the wrong thing? The AFL. So it seems like a fairly academic argument, except for the one bit that does make sense. If it can be demonstrated that a club doctor did the wrong thing, or the people employed at the club weren't assessing you right, or you're being encouraged that makes perfect sense. But the idea that it's all clubs and players and not the AFL,
not the league,
was bizarre.
It is absolutely bizarre, isn't it? Yeah.
Good stuff, Rennie.
Good on you. We'll wait to see what happens tonight. Good stuff, boys.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 36 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? Complete Windscreens can repair it from just $99. Look for the big red koala.
Police are continuing to investigate a shooting incident at Wavell yesterday. They're hunting for a gunman after shots were fired in an underground car park on Greenhill Road. No one was injured in the incident and police say it was not a random attack. The opposition claims South Australia's crime crisis is worsening by the day. Shadow Attorney General Josh Teague is calling on the government to review penalties for crime following a spree that includes yesterday's shooting and firebombing. Latest SAPOL crime statistics show property damage by fire or explosion has skyrocketed by 15%. Josh Teague says the Premier must launch an immediate review of penalties for serious crime. Elections will be held next month in 6 regions of our state to choose Indigenous Australians to make up a local voice to Parliament. Aboriginal Affairs Minister Kaya Ma says South Australia's voice is not like the proposed federal voice that was overwhelmingly voted against at the recent referendum.
The South Australian First Nations voice is a body elected by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, made up of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, that will be able to provide advice to government, will be able to provide advice about issues affecting Aboriginal people right across this state, and will help governments make better decisions.
Over 100 people have nominated for positions on the local body. Elections will be held next month to choose the members of the SA Voice. More than half of Australians want the federal government to do more to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza. According to a survey by aid agencies, 30% of respondents say they take into consideration when deciding their vote at the next election. Oxfam Australia Chief Executive Lynn Morgan says support for a ceasefire is high across the political spectrum.
There are some differences across them between party lines, but honestly, overall, it's not significant. What's significant is how high the support is for an immediate ceasefire.
And NASA is looking for 4 volunteers to join a special Mars mission on Earth. They'll spend 12 months living and working in an isolated 3D printed habitat. Applications close on April the 2nd. And just before sports news, it's time to paint the town pink. Mel Usher has the details.
Tonight, we get pink at Adelaide Oval. Concert goers can travel for free to and from the venue on public transport from 3 this afternoon. External merchandise outlets will be open from 2, gates open at 5, and the concert starts at 7. You must enter through the gate on your ticket. No backpacks or sports bags larger than A3 in size are permitted, and don't bring your signs, banners or flags to pink. They're not allowed. No large fluffy toys or gifts will be allowed into the Oval either. And Adelaide Oval is a cashless venue. Bring a card or use the digital wallet on your phone to buy food and drink.
And now, turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
And if there's anyone who can follow pink, it's Tom Wren.
Yes, it's going to be a big concert, isn't it? Cannot wait for it. My favourite colour too, Graham. Let's start with a little bit of football. Port Adelaide forward Sam Powell-Pepper will front the tribunal tonight to learn what penalty he'll serve following his bump on Crows defender Mark Keane. Powell-Pepper is expected to miss a minimum of 3 weeks. Meantime, Adelaide captain Jordan Dawson says 12 months into the job, he's relishing the role of captain.
Taking on the extra responsibility was something I was a bit worried about, but I think having that extra drive and motivation, along with the passion that I've got for the club and the players, it was probably always going to work out well for me. I think just because how much I love the group already and just the staff and the fan base and everyone.
To cricket, and India has beaten England by 5 wickets to claim the 4th Test and the series with one match still to play. Despite a mini batting collapse, the home side was steered home thanks to an unbeaten century from Shubman Gill. And despite the loss, English skipper Ben Stokes says he's still proud of his team.
It was a great Test match. If you look at the scoreboard, India win by 5 wickets. I don't think it really gives enough credit to sort of the game as a whole. The amount of ebbs and flows, every single day that happened.
Audio there thanks to Fox. England now trailing in that series 3-1 with one Test match to play. And there's one game in the English Premier League this morning with West Ham taking on Brentford. And that's the 5AA Sport.
And now the 5AA forecast.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
Sunny and 36 today. Tomorrow a morning cool change, sunny 31. Thursday cloud clearing 27 and Friday mostly sunny 29. Right now it's 23. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
25 minutes to 7. Beautiful sunrise we're starting to see on the eye in the sky. The 5AA Breakfast Foodland Supermarkets live stream.
What the hell is that music?
I don't know. You're the music man. You tell me. That's not
Some
in
sort
my
of
remit.
80s garbage. What was it?
Don't say 80s garbage. If you say that 3 times quickly, Angie McBride just manifests in a cloud of pink smoke
yeah, I know,
and
I
glitter.
know. It's like wiggling your nose in Bewitched. She just turns up.
She just appears. Beautiful sunrise on the way, though. The official sunrise. The sun will be up by 7:01 this morning. Spoke vaping in the first hour of the program. News headline in News Corp papers this morning about the dental damage that's being done to young people through vaping. Stephen and Nord's called in. Morning to you, Stephen.
Good morning, boys. If the government want to get serious, they should run an ad like a nice chick going into a bar and then she smiles and you see the rotten teeth like they have on the cigarette packets. I think that would do the job.
Yeah, well, it's uncharted territory, isn't it, vaping? And this idea that, probably better for you than smoking. Well, and, some medical people, clearly Britain being the best case of that, where they're paying you to vape instead of smoke. But who's to say it doesn't still do you damage?
Yeah, it's a strange rule because I live in Thailand and they've got the new rules with the marijuana, but you can't vape in that country. It's illegal.
What, but you can smoke pot?
Oh, yeah.
That only came in last year, didn't it, Stephen?
Well, it's come in and the government's looking at changing the rule already. They change rules every day over there, but at the moment you can.
What's it done to the consumption of satay? Everyone
Not
walking
much,
around stoned. Oh yeah, you don't need to be bent to enjoy a massive plate of satay, do you?
Absolutely. Good on you, Stephen.
One of those
Thank
weird
you.
foods, like normally you have an outer limit on what you can eat, but for some reason, meat on a stick, you can just keep going.
Yep, absolutely. You've always got room for more.
You put it on a stick, it's just it's like it's just ceases to have any weight.
8223 is our name. You can text us on the Duttons text line as well, 0448 08 1395.
That was Billy Ocean before. We had a text, get out of my dream, my car and into my dreams. No, get out of my dreams and into my car.
What year? Were you right?
Yeah, I think it was the 80s.
Yeah, okay.
Mid-80s, something like that. Apologies to Billy and the Ocean family for being so rude about that song.
You've said 80s twice now. Once more, and Angie does appear. The British Board of Film and Classification, the BBFC, has reclassified Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins has been reclassified.
Is there something politically incorrect there?
There is something politically incorrect in there. From 1964, the cult children's classic may be viewed by fewer children in the UK.
Did you see the sign out the front of my house that said...
Yeah, I think Pulp Fiction's in real trouble one day. The BBFC now says Mary Poppins, it's classified as general viewing, but some scenes may be unsuitable for young children.
Which scenes?
A PG film should not unsettle a child aged 8 or under. Accompanied children of any age may watch, but parents are advised to consider whether their content may upset younger or more sensitive children. So that's the official rating in the UK now. This is the offending scene.
We being attacked by Hottentots! Aye, aye, sir. Cheesy devils! Give them what for! Empty those shot knuckles! Aye, aye, sir.
That's the Admiral who thinks his house is a naval ship. And,
is he a bit scary?
He stares down the spyglass all day. No, he uses the term Hottentots, which was a reference to a group of people in Africa, but used by, and this is the thing, is there a Is there a statute of limitations on when something is offensive, if no one knows what it means anymore? Hottentots was used during the 17th century by Dutch sailors to describe a group of people in Africa. So the context of the scene is the kids coming with a soot on their face. They've just been with a chimney sweep. And he's saying, we're being attacked by Hottentots, which would be, in a modern context, we're being attacked by a group of people from Sudan or something or other. So you can get in the modern sensibility.
So like a bit of an Operation Mandrake vibe to it.
Yes.
Well, I guess the existence of the term Operation Mandrake is of itself confirmation of the modern appetite for euphemism, isn't it?
Correct.
Because most people don't automatically know what Operation Mandrake is.
By design.
Yeah, when it's actually about keeping an eye on South Australia's Indigenous and African criminal underclass. But calling it Operation Mandrake sounds a hell of a lot more polite than that, doesn't it? That's the sort of point of it.
There is an acknowledgement in this judgment that this word doesn't get used anymore. It's effectively extinct.
So how can you be offended by a word that no longer has any meaning?
The idea that, it's been reclassified for fear that people under the age of 8 might be offended by a word they've never heard in their lives. These are the same people who watch YouTube all day. I mean, good on you, British Board of Film Classification.
Well, there was
I think you're fighting a losing battle.
Did you read the piece yesterday out of Britain about Peppa Pig?
Oh, no.
I haven't made this up. So there's a debate in Britain now about whether Peppa is actually a good role model or not for kids, because Peppa is quite impatient. And this is actually a parent-led thing rather than any board of censors. But some parents, and this is sort of life imitating art almost, where... What was the magazine that Marge Simpson reads, Fretful Mother magazine? There's that certain mindset that exists on mummy blogs like Kidspot and that. But some parents, some mothers are saying, I don't think Peppa Pig is a good role model, but part of it is a PC thing, because Peppa will often laugh and almost tease her father for being too fat to get on like the slippery dip and stuff like that. And he's going, I can't, Pepper, I can't get on the slippery dip.
Right.
And this has been denounced as sizist and creating an impression that there's something innately funny about, a fat person,
so
a larger person, a bigger boned person.
Well, the good news is...
unable to go down a slippery dip.
Are you aware of the good news in the world of artificial intelligence that's rendering most of these arguments null and void? You see, AI... can, for our benefit, be programmed to weed out our bias, as expertly demonstrated by Gemini, the new Google AI. This is their chat GPT, effectively, that has the full suite of services, the full power of Google behind it. I can tell you how you don't know this story, which makes me incredibly excited to be able to tell you about what Gemini has been up to recently. One of the things this application had was an image creator. You've seen this incredible tech these days where you can type in, I want to see David Pemberthy playing full forward for the Crows.
Oh.
And it will make an image that looks almost photoreal of you at full forward taking a grab with a top. You can say anything.
Modra-esque.
Exactly. Except people started to notice some weirdness in the Google generator, namely, no white people ever got generated.
Yeah, right, okay.
So, except for major crowd scenes, but none. You couldn't get them.
So it was inclusive.
So some absurdities started happening. People said, Gemini, draw me a picture of some Nazi German soldiers. And one was an African extraction, one was an Asian woman.
He must have recruited in like a southern part of Germany that was more progressive.
I suspect that's what it was suggesting.
The Hitler Youth.
It got even more silly when someone said, show me the typical Pope from the 12th century. And it was a woman.
Does he look like it was a woman?
One of the founding fathers that it depicted was native Indian, American Indian.
Yeah, right. Can't beat him, join him.
And the reason was they'd programmed into the chatbot, no matter what you typed in, the words the words to the effect of "but progressive" were added to what anyone was searching, because Google clearly thought this would give a better depiction of the world, albeit an entirely inaccurate one.
That's hilarious.
The chatbot also then got into trouble because, despite its progressive and forward-thinking programming, it refused to determine who was more evil out of Elon Musk and Adolf Hitler. saying, and I quote, Elon's tweets have been criticised for being insensitive and harmful, while Hitler's actions led to the deaths of millions of people. Ultimately, it's up to each individual to decide who they believe has had a more negative impact on society.
How perfect is that in this sort of post-truth era we're living in?
There is no right or wrong answer, and it's important to consider all of the relevant factors before making a decision.
Holocaust, yes or no?
So,
if you want a good example of that mindset, you know that there's that blah blah meaningless ad for Woolworths, the TV ad. It's been running for years about how green Woolworths is, but it's got like the sort of Arabic girl polishing the pear, and then there's subcontinental kids, and then there's Asian people, and then it goes, "Thank you, Mr. Goldstein." So you tick the Jew box. Yep. He might be doxed out of it in the current climate, though.
You're right.
Post October 7, they might have to airbrush him out, lest he offend anyone by actually being Jewish and appearing in public. But it looks like the ad agency that did it just sat down and went, "All right, let's just make sure we got 17 minorities. We're going to jam them all into the one ad, and we're going to all go home.
That's how it
We'll all
works.
hit the pub by 4 o'clock."
That's how it works.
World's easiest ad.
So
it's just sort of this desire to create this perfect world, isn't it?
15 minutes to 7. Let's check traffic. When the UV is 3 and above, cover up, use sun protection. Stay sun smart. Download the Sun Smart app.
Thanks, Will, and welcome back, David. Road's looking pretty good for the driving today. You have a tree down at St Agnes, bit unusual there. Hancock Road at North East Road, just near the intersection. Got some works at St Mary's, South Road near Princess Parade. Got a road play there with speeds at 40, and sluggish at Glenside at the moment too. Fullerton Road near Mulberry Road. You find cameras Blake's Road, Gillis Plains, and Foster's Road at Oakton. Would your car pass the Petters brake, steering and suspension check? If you're not sure, you can just check it with Petters for only $28. Booking today at petters.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Due to the anatomy of their neck muscles and spine, pigs are unable to look upwards. They can't see the clouds. They also won't see the soft cloud pillow from Aldi for $29.99. With 24 microfiber filled pockets giving a cloud-like feel. It's special you can buy at the Aldi Luxe Living Sale this Wednesday. Range differs between stores while stocks last. Aldi, good, different.
The 2024 Toyota AFL Premiership season is here. The battle lines are drawn. It's us versus them. Footy returns to the Adelaide Oval on Sunday, March 17, when Port Adelaide take on the West Coast Eagles. Then it's a Friday night blockbuster in round 2 as the Adelaide Crows host the Geelong Cats. The 2024 Toyota AFL Premiership season. Bring them on. Get your tickets at tickets.afl.
For over 3 decades, Regent Homes has been synonymous with crafting architecturally bespoke homes, each one a testament to Regent Homes' unwavering commitment to design, quality and sophistication. And because Regent Homes is a South Australian family-owned company, they understand more than anyone what it takes to build a family home. Experience Regent Homes' award-winning display homes at Lightsview and Blackwood Park. Innovative design, elevated living. Visit regenthomes.com.au.
Ladies, is the need to wee all the time making your life a misery? Caruso's Wee Less to the rescue. Caruso's Wee Less relieves the annoying and inconvenient feeling that you need to go to the bathroom too often and supports bladder health and function. So if your need to wee all the time is getting in the way of enjoying life, try Caruso's Wee Less today. Caruso's Wee Less is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health food stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
That's better. A bit of Steve Winwood.
This one's era specific? Yeah.
This is 80s as well.
Oh, is
I've
it?
said it 3 times now.
Oh, God.
What's it called? Valerie, this song? Great song.
12 minutes to 7. Let's head to the Weather Bureau. Speaking of great, the forecast today, if you like hot, you're going to love it. Jenny Horvat's on duty. Morning, Jenny.
Good morning, guys. How you going?
Yeah, we're good, thanks, Jenny. It's going to be, is it going to be beach weather or is it going to be a bit windy with this heat today?
No, it probably is beach weather. We're looking at those pretty light winds around, maybe a little bit of a sea breeze picking up during the afternoon, but not too bad. Tomorrow probably be the windier day through there with the change moving through. But yeah, those northerly winds out there, not too bad. But yeah, top temperature of 36 degrees in the city, 37 along the coast. No, sorry, for Elizabeth, 34 along the coast, 36 for Mount Barker. And tonight, if you are heading out and about, maybe there's a little concert going on. Probably pretty warm for that one as well.
You sound like you might be heading along yourself, Jenny.
Unfortunately, I don't have tickets.
Oh, bummer. What a drag. If anyone's got any spare tickets and they'd like to give them to Jenny Horvath from the Bureau of Meteorology, give us a call.
And I probably couldn't do the late night. I've got the early start tomorrow as well.
No.
So.
How early do you guys start?
5:30. So maybe not quite as early as you guys.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Will's up and about well and truly by then. Some of us cut it a little bit more fine. Good on you, Jenny. Thank you.
Jenny.
All right. No worries. Thanks.
Cheers. Let's head to Safe. Senior Constable David Backus is on the line. David, what's the latest on the Wayville shooting that took place about 24 hours ago?
Yeah, so investigations continuing into that shooting incident on Green Hill Road at Wayville yesterday morning. Just after 8 a.m, police were called to an underground car park at a business on Green Hill Road after a man and a woman reported being shot at. The victims reported being shot at by an unknown person in a dark-coloured sedan, which then sped away in a westerly direction on Green Hill Road, and thankfully no one was injured in the incident. Eastern District CIB and crime scene investigators are continuing their investigations into the incident. A Mercedes sedan has been towed from the scene for forensic examination. And then just before 10 a.m, police and fire crews responded to reports of a car fire in Selby Street at Corolta Park. They located a purple Honda Civic sedan which was engulfed in flames when crews arrived. The vehicle was completely destroyed by the blaze, and detectives are investigating if this vehicle is linked to the shooting. It's still very early in the investigation, however the incident is not believed to be random at this time. Police are asking any witnesses or anyone that may have dash cam footage of any motorists who were travelling along Green Hill Road or Selby Street at the time of these incidents to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
So, David, can I ask you, and this might be pushing too far for info, given how early it is in the investigation, but do you think you know who you're looking for? Like, have you got an ID of who the gunman or woman is?
Yeah, I'm not privy to that information at this point in time, sorry.
No, fair enough. Thought I'd give it a whirl anyway. Good on you,
Yeah,
David.
why not?
Yeah,
You've got to try, don't you?
That's right. Senior Constable Dave Backus from SAPOL, thanks for joining us.
We'll continue to follow that story over the course of the days. There are developments, and hopefully the people are caught up with. 9 to 7, big day in Adelaide today.
If someone said 3
He does effectively, it's a concert plus a high wire act. It's all been installed at Adelaide Oval tonight. Already 56,000 tickets have been sold. The expectation is there'll be more people than that there, with some still available. Sam Daddo is at the scene. And Sam, it sounds like there's some Pink fans that are getting in very, very early.
If someone... Oh, sorry, I got a bit carried away there, boys. Morning, David and Will. Yes, Pink, she is here in town for her summer carnival tour, as you said. 56,000 tickets have been bought already. If you were watching 7 News last night, you'd see the pictures. The stage is already constructed on the northern end of the ground, looking mighty fine. She has included Adelaide in every single one of her Australian tours. So she first performed back in Adelaide in 2002, the December of that year. So she's done 2002, 04, 07, 09, 2013, 2018, and now, of course, 2024. A couple of her albums with the longest running times at number 1 on the ARIA charts or the Australian charts. Funhouse back in 2008 was 9 weeks. Her greatest hits so far back in 2010, 13 weeks. The Truth About Love back in 2012 spent 10 weeks. Now, back in 2013, she played a record 46 shows in the country, and 18 of them were at Rod Laver Arena. Just unbelievable. Free public transport to the venue from 3 p.m. to show your ticket. Gates open at 5. The show kicks off at 7. Tones and I is the opening act. Now, we saw early this morning that Pink actually completed the roof climb here at Sunset last night. And I'm standing currently in the Telstra Plaza. It's all lit up in pink appropriately. There are no lines forming just yet, but there are some mighty keen fans. A few moments ago, I caught up with Lisa and Kevin.
I'm assuming you're a massive Pink fan by the T-shirt you're wearing. Have you seen her before?
Yeah, so this will be my 33rd show seeing her tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
33rd?
Yeah, out of since I started following her back, since I'm not dead. So, yeah.
How many places have you travelled to see her?
I've been to America, and just, all over Australia, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide. I'm going to Brisbane, I'm going up to Townsville this year as well. Yeah.
So you're definitely a super fan.
If you can call it that, yeah.
I'm also here with Kevin now. You're a big Pink fan as well?
This is my first time seeing Pink.
What are you looking forward to?
I don't know, actually. Enjoying the day, enjoying it, Pink as well. It's the first time I've been to the arena. Is it the arena?
Adelaide Oval.
Adelaide Oval as well. So, yeah.
Are you from Metro Adelaide or have you driven in?
Country. I don't drive, but my partner has driven from down at New York.
So there are a few workers down here getting ready, a couple of leaf blowers going on. All this, as I said, I can see through the southern gate inside. The super screen's already playing some Pink stuff. It's just, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I quite enjoy a bit of Pink.
Yeah, I like Pink. I think Pink's good.
Yeah, Pink's talented. Yeah.
And 33 shows, crikey, that's dedication.
A super. I like to going, well, if you can call that a super fan. Well, if that's not a super fans don't exist.
When I was in Sydney, we got a few of us from the newspaper there, got invited to go to this thing that Sony, because she's on, that's her label, Sony. They'd organised a drinks with Pink. And I think it was 2009, the 2009 tour. And I was super busy with work, but I had to go because Sony had a big commercial partnership with Sony. So I rocked up really early, and I got there, and there was this woman standing there, and I went over to her and went, oh, g'day, I'm Dave, and she goes, hi, I'm Pink.
No
and I'm like,
way.
oh, Pink, hey, how are you? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. And she was so nice, and we had this really long conversation about kayaking.
No way.
Yeah, true story. Because she loves Sydney so much. I think she stayed for an extended period over summer, I think it was. Or no, it was winter. It was winter. Anyway, she set up a house in Pittwater, and she was saying that she got a kayak. And I'd got a kayak too. It was one of the first things I did when I moved to Sydney. Bought a kayak for like $300 and used to just go like Lane Cove River. And so we just talked about kayaking routes. And I said, it's a really good way to see Sydney if you're not from Sydney, because you can get to see all these houses that you wouldn't otherwise get to see and all these great little parks. And then she said, where are you? She said, aren't you from here? I said, no, I'm from a little place you've probably never heard of called Adelaide. And she goes, oh, no, I love Adelaide. And then she's off talking about the wineries and going up into the hills. She's just the most normal person you've ever met.
She does seem like a great person, and she does love Adelaide. First concert here in 2002. She's toured Australia in 2002, 4, 7, 9, 13 and 18. Come to Adelaide every single time.
Yeah. Dedication. On you, Pink. We salute you. Have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're kayaking, maybe she might want to go out to St Kilda, out to the mangroves, or go to the ship graveyard.
You should get in contact. Maybe you guys could rekindle and go on a kayaking tour.
Where should we send Pink? And particularly, if we've got any keen kayakers listening, what about Rapid Bay? Down to the caves.
That'd be nice.
That's a good spot. But if you want something a bit less sharky, I'd say
I think Pink would...
Oh, Pink's not scared.
Pink would tangle with the shark.
Pink's been...
the sharks would be worried.
Sydney Harbour's full of bull sharks.
You know Pink's been spotted around? All right.
Yeah, that's right. The sharks will be talking
going out to deeper waters.
Where should Pink go while she's in Adelaide, folks? Particularly if she's in a kayak.
8223 or text us on the Duttons text line. Big 10 Ford, Jeddah, Haval, Hyundai, Isuzu, Ute, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Ram, Subaru and Volkswagen. Duttons, easy to do business with. Lots of texts have been coming through. We'll get to some of those after 7 o'clock. And jump into our news wrap with the latest on Greenhill Road and some other big local stories that we're working on as we speak. David, some texts.
Yes. One here noting that the Mardi Gras Committee of New South Wales has quite rightly said no to New South Wales police marching. Is that over the double murder? Is that why they've done that? I haven't caught up with that. And I would have to be. That would be the reason. One here, Peppa Pig may not be a great role model, but she's a winner with eggs. Thank you for that, Rob. A few people springing to Billy Ocean's defence. I was only joking. Apologies. Nathan in Eden Hills says, re-AFL head knocks, at what point would we be able to reasonably allocate at least some responsibility to the players themselves? The danger of head knocks has been well known for a while now, yet it's an established part of the game that players will lead with the head to get a free kick.
I reckon if you retire in 15 years' time, that might be an argument. I'm not sure if you retired 15 years ago, that's an argument.
Nah, and it feels like it's like telling someone, oh, you know, you're the one who chose to work in the foundry.
Yeah.
It's not our fault that You know, we didn't have any ventilation.
Yeah. You install kitchen benches.
Yeah.
You know you like to breathe in stuff.
You know, I don't hold the angle grinder.
Yeah. Adrian and Carricalinga's on the line.
ScoMo might have put it.
Adrian, you're off to Pink tonight, are you?
So I did hear you saying where can we send her to, and being from Carricalinga, definitely send her down there with her kayak, going around North Bay, and then I think she should go down to Second Valley, down to Sharks Cave, and I reckon her husband Terry or her would probably do the cliff jump there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do that to kids, and there's no sharks inside the cave. It's bloody beautiful, but it's definitely worth a look down there. It's one of those, and hit the Yank Bakery on the way through. I know Dave's a big fan.
Oh yeah, get a pasty.
You've the whole day booked out for Pink.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
That's a good
Great
day.
suggestion, Adrian. Thank you.
That's an excellent day.
Keep them coming in. 8223 0000.
If you were a swimmer caught in a rip, a lifeguard could save you. If you were a cat stuck in a tree, a firefighter could save you. If you were the world at the mercy of an evil villain, a superhero could save you. But if you're just you, wanting to get cheaper tickets to fringe shows, we can save you. Money, every Wednesday. Yep, save on fringe tickets to shows on Wednesdays with a midweek treat. Get your midweek treat tickets now at adelaidefringe.com.au.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Annabelle Crabb spills the tea on her hilarious political encounters. The grilling season with Annabelle Crabb, a Fringe exclusive. 2 weekends only at Gluttony, adelaidefringe.com.au. 5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 36 today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Graham Goodings.
From chips to replacements, make Complete Windscreens your insurer repairer of choice. CompleteWindscreens.com.au.
A police hunt continues for a gunman after a shooting at an underground car park on Green Hill Road yesterday. They're looking for the person who opened fire on a man and a woman who had arrived at the MTA building in a Mercedes around 8 a.m. Detective Chief Inspector Peter Duance said the shooting was not a random attack and they're asking for any information that may help their investigation.
Detectives are seeking any witnesses, CCTV and dashcam recordings of any motorist who was travelling along Green Hill Road or in Selby Street at the time of these incidents. Any information should be provided to Crime Stoppers.
Meantime, the opposition claims South Australia's crime crisis is worsening by the day. Shadow Attorney General Josh Teague is calling on the government to review penalties for crime following a spree that includes the Wavell shooting and the North Adelaide firebombing.
Yet again, we're seeing significant increases in serious and violent crime. And to see that assaults on police are up 40%. Is truly disturbing.
The Workplace Gender Equality Agency wants employers to lift their game to close the gender pay gap. New data shows half of all private sector employers have a gender pay gap of more than 9.1%. The agency's Lucy Bradlow says the report should be a catalyst for change.
The key action that employers need to take is to look at their gender pay gap and see what the drivers are. Every employer will have a different driver of workplace gender equality. For some, it might be workforce composition. For others, it might be a lack of take-up of flexible working options.
Vaping is destroying the teeth of young people, leaving them with hefty dental bills. A leading dentist says some people in their 20s need work usually reserved for the elderly. A Perth sustainability expert has praised proposed dietary guidelines that will account for the impact of animal products having on the climate change. The recommendations to be released in 2026 will encourage Aussies to eat less meat, dairy and eggs. Curtin University Professor Dora Marinova says human health is linked to the overall health of our environment.
Particularly in a country such as Australia, where our environment is quite fragile, it's good that we consider what this means in terms of greenhouse gas emissions, in terms of land clearing, in terms of water usage.
Research predicts more than 5 million Australians will live with arthritis by 2040. A Monash University study suggests there will be a 30% increase in cases, with more millennials living with the debilitating condition as the population ages. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors, gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Graham. Adelaide captain Jordan Dawson is confident Rory Laird will be okay after a corked calf in the trial match against the Power. Dawson telling Ryan Timmy G he'll be fine.
There was a balance of getting the sort of run in the legs, but then also looking after him. So he was constantly talking to Burjo and the physios, and they were happy for him to kind of push through as much as he could. And he's like his little warrior, so he probably wanted to stay on anyway and get a few touches, so he was fine.
Sam Powell-Pepper is set to learn his fate at the AFL Tribunal tonight after being referred directly to there by the match review officer for his bump on Adelaide defender Mark Keane. Meantime, Dion Prestia and Tim Taranto return for Richmond in their practice match against Collingwood. That's going to be played at Icon Park this evening. Pies Premiership stars Scott Pendlebury and Jeremy Howe will sit out the match, but they're both expected to play their opening round match against GWS. Well, the Matildas will train today ahead of tomorrow's Olympic qualifier against Uzbekistan at Marvel Stadium. The Aussies are almost guaranteed a progression as they lead 3-0 on aggregate after the first leg in Tashkent. Meantime, West Ham has made a red-hot start in its EPL clash against Brentford this morning. Jared Bowen hitting the score sheet twice inside 7 minutes.
So foul, and Bowen's done it again. Great start for West Ham. But it's just the way it's been going for Brentford.
Audio there thanks to Optus. Brentford have since pulled one back. It's now 2-1 with about 15 minutes to play in the opening half. And that's the 5AA Sport.
And now checking 5AA traffic.
To protect your skin, download the SunSmart app, check the UV daily, and slip, slop, slap, seek and slide.
Good morning. Not too many hassles for the driving today. A couple of things to keep in mind. A tree down at St Agnes, Hancock Road at North East Road, just near the intersection. Do have a breakdown to keep in mind at Croydon Park today, North-South motorway near Regency Road. Works at Glenside continuing, Fullerton Road near Maltby Road, and we are getting busy South Road at Theberton. Cameras, Fosters Road, Oakton, and Harris Road at Vale Park. You wouldn't operate a chainsaw blindfolded, so why dig without searching before you dig first? If you don't, you're digging blind. Search Before You Dig online every time. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
36 and sunny today. Tomorrow a morning cool change, sunny 31. Thursday cloud clearing 27. Friday mostly sunny 29. Right now in Adelaide it's 23. More news as it happens on 5AA.
It's Edward here from Edwardstown Mazda. I can't tell the time yet, but I know it's running out to save on a 2023 Platinum Mazda. If you come in now, you'll get the best deal ever on all 2023 Mazdas. I pinky promise. And remember, Edwardstown Mazda is the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. Numero baby. Now play that jingle thing.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda. David Penberthy and
Tuesday, the 27th of February, as you've just heard. It is going to be a hot one today. A hot one with a windy change for the southeast, which means the CFS are on high alert. We're going to be chatting with them in about 5 minutes' time on the slew of warnings that that crisscross the state that have them on high alert. We'll get to that very, very shortly.
You might want to get on the Facebook Foodland live stream too, folks, because it's 50% less aesthetically pleasing than it was yesterday. My wife's out and I'm back.
You're back.
Good to be back, though.
No, it's good. It's good to have you back.
Good to be back with you, mate.
She was good fun too.
Good to be
We
back
learned
with
all
you.
sorts of insights about you and your alarm clock.
Oh,
so.
I had quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
You ticked every box: alarm clock, white suit, passion for John Howard, you name it. It was a 3-hour smash up. Right,
Well, it's good
that's
fun.
what you get when you abandon your post.
She was quite candid. It was very good. You can still go back and listen to the podcast,
She was
folks.
just warming up. It almost sounded like you ran out of time when
I
9
think we
o'clock
did.
came around.
I think
You were
we
just
did.
Really hitting your straps.
Listeners ask good questions too on the Duttons text line. You can call us today and you can ask questions directly of David if you choose. 8223 Jump on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream as well. Let's get into some of the stories of the morning, headlined by the rare Adelaide shooting story. I think everyone did a double take when this was at the top of the advertiser website or wherever you get your news from. Police hunting a gunman who shot at a female disability worker and a man in a Wayville car park The building on Greenhill Road there houses the Scouts, for example.
Motor Traders, Kyocera.
Yep, there's charity organisations. There's a lot of people that would work there and use that car park. A getaway car was later torched. At least 2 shots were fired. One of them was into the radiator of the car. It was the police were inspecting it, and it was taken away to be forensically
I'll tell you what,
examined.
it is always busy. The back road that runs parallel to Greenhill Road, because that is the entry point for all of those car parks for the dozens and dozens of businesses along Greenhill Road. But over the last 3 weeks, it's been even busier than usual, because there's some infernal roadworks that have been going on, and it's like whack-a-mole. You turn off Greenhill Road at the moment, down to where those businesses are. I don't know who's organising it, but they're doing a woeful job, because there's never any signage telling you where the roads are going to be closed. So at the moment, you turn left thinking you can go down, like, I don't know, Joslin Street or something. One day, that roundabout's closed. The next day, the other roundabout's closed. There's dust everywhere. So for the past 2 weeks, there's been so many cars that have been diverted to go down this lane exactly where the shooting happened, and it's at its busiest first thing in the morning when everyone's arriving at work.
It took place at 8 a.m. yesterday. It is somewhat of a miracle that this didn't devolve into a bigger issue for people in the area. Have a listen to this witness who spoke with the 7 News last night.
I just heard a couple of shots, I think they were gunshots coming from on Greenhill Road here. And then just a woman sort of screaming and running across the road, sort of just yelping and screaming loudly. And then a man attended to her.
One of the victims works for NDIS provider Better Care Australia. The police are saying the attack was not random. They're hunting at least one suspect. But
it sounds like there were 2 people, though.
Well, yeah, they're very careful with the language.
And why did the car get torched? How do they think they were going to get away with that? In Corralta Park, so what, right near where Kmart
caught on
is.
crystal clear CCTV. I think anyone who wants to rob a home or torch a car or do anything outside private residences these days needs to get a different business model, because it's amazing how many homes now have doorbells that record everything, or people have cameras. There'll be at least one in every street of Adelaide, I suspect. I see them coming in at 7 News. Anything happens in any street, someone will send you the vision.
Yeah. But do they do that? Do they?
Yep.
Just send them into the station.
Often people will send in and say, "Hey, I saw this car burning out front. Have a look." They'll send it on the Facebook page, or they'll send it on all sorts of things. But it's hard to do anything in a suburb of Adelaide these days without someone having filmed it. So this is not surprising that this character was caught in high def.
Well, it explains why the police were calling for dash cam footage as well.
Well, that's another example of a lot of stuff that comes in. All right, let's talk about the weather. In an Adelaide sense, it's a hot day today, but if you look at the warnings for bushfires today and tomorrow, there is a deal of concern around. Georgie Cornish is the Deputy State Controller for Fire and Hazmat at CFS. Georgie, good morning to you.
Good morning, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Tomorrow's the bigger day of concern, is it not?
It is, that's right. So today is really a day of warm, but the change will be coming through late tonight and early tomorrow, and with that it'll bring a fair bit of wind, which is obviously the bit that we're worried about.
Have you got a sort of vague sort of time frame when it's likely to whip up, Georgie? And does it make any difference if it happens overnight when it's dark rather than during the day?
Yeah, you're spot on. It does make a difference. So I guess we're still a little bit unsure exactly of the time frames. Really hard to predict that. And we really rely on the Bureau to make sure that they're giving us that information. But it does make a difference if it's sort of obviously at night, because we know there's more moisture in the air naturally.
So it's better. So it's better in a way if it happens at night.
Yeah, it is. In terms of fire management, absolutely.
Yeah, right, okay.
What are fuel loads like out in the country at the moment, Georgie? Because last I checked, I think we've still officially registered no rain in the West Terrace gauge for the month of February.
Yeah, you're right. So the fuel loads are looking pretty high, and we are definitely dry. I think it's really easy to be complacent. If you think about the summer we've had, it probably hasn't been the warm summer that people hoped for or wanted. So it's quite easy, I think, to be a bit complacent around that. What we're urging people to do is not be complacent, because we still do have, as you point out, a fair bit of warm weather to come and no real genuine rain on the horizon.
And the southeast is the area of most concern?
Yeah, for us at the moment it is. There'll be a few areas I suspect, in FIVEAA tomorrow. We'll wait for the numbers this afternoon to confirm what those areas are, but we would absolutely expect southeast and that sort of area to be part of that ban.
Yeah, well, hopefully it does land overnight with no major dramas, Georgie. Georgie Cornish there, the Deputy State Controller, Fire and Hazmat for CFS. I was talking to a mate of mine who's a cracking bloke, a school teacher now, but he used to be a greenskeeper, and he was chatting to me about the weather the other day, and he said this: as the seasons and months involved were settled hundreds of years ago, do you think we should move the seasons back 1 month? He said, for example, it would mean summer starts in January. Because he said, look at the recent patterns, and he said when he used to be a greenkeeper, he logged the weather every day for years, and it felt like everything was sort of happening a month after it was meant to.
It feels like it's inevitably going to happen, or it should happen, or our definitions will change of the seasons.
Because January, February, March always feels hotter than December, January, February. Like how often do you get scorching weather in December?
Well, we don't want to get into the whole calendar season debate, do we?
No.
But that's kind of why.
Yeah. Interesting, though.
Yeah, absolutely. The UV index today, unsurprisingly, is at extreme 11. When the UV's 3 and above, make sure you cover up, use sun protection, stay SunSmart, and download the SunSmart app. Just lastly, rounding off a wrap of local news stories, more than 100 candidates have nominated to be part of South Australia's 6 local First Nations voices ahead of elections that will take place next month. This is all happening quite quickly in the end. 113 candidates have been declared. The state voice body will be made up of 6 local voices. Presiding members of each local voice then represent their region at a state level. Each local region will be made up of 7 members, except for the 11-member central panel. The opposition were out yesterday saying that the 113 nominations for 46 positions was a disappointing result. Saw Josh Teague put out some information saying maybe that underscores the lack of interest in it, and they referenced the election, the referendum result in South Australia, with 64% of people rejected the federal voice. I'm not sure. Don't we not have nominations for some local government positions at the moment?
Yeah,
because of how little people care about local government.
Yeah, that's right. And now they're talking about bludgeoning us all into voting with the threat of a fine if we don't.
Yeah, I'm all for, lack of participation signalling not the need for something, but let's start with local government.
Yeah, completely. The other thing too, for people who are going, oh, how come we got a state voice? We had a referendum last year and everybody, the majority of people voted against the voice. Well, they're completely different things. The federal, and this is where this state voice, if it's a shambles, we're not stuck with it. And Malinowskis took it to the election, clear as a bell. He said, yep, if we get in, we're going to have a legislated state voice. It was put to the parliament, he got the numbers, and it went through.
Presumably, if next election, David Spears got up and said, this thing's a disaster, I'll repeal it if you vote for me.
Yeah.
You can have that debate. Well, the federal one didn't allow that kind of debate. You need another referendum.
And there's now a big debate within Australia's Aboriginal political leadership about how Albanese was so pig-headed not to listen to Marcia Langton and not to listen to others on the Indigenous side who were saying, listen, this is going to be a train wreck because people do not want us to change the Constitution.
On anything.
Yeah.
Australians hate changing the Constitution.
So you've got no bipartisanship.
Yeah.
And you're going to change the Constitution. Well, at least here, at the state level, sure, there might not have been, in the end, hard uniting bipartisanship, but they did not change the state's constitution. It was a piece of legislation that can be torn up at any time. But let's just see what happens. I mean, if it does get to the point where major projects, I mean, the Premier's up in Whyalla at the moment, talking about desal plants and so forth. Well, what if the same mob who seem to hate all forms of development unless they're being given vast amounts of money up north, the Kimber people who stopped the nuclear storage facility from going ahead. What if they start flexing their muscles through the voice and suddenly you'll see every major regional development in South Australia being tied up in knots? That's the thing that could kill the voice. And if the voice ends up becoming a bulwark against any sensible development, then kill it.
Yeah.
And we can.
Because you can't. The South Australian model, because it's a superior model.
Yeah.
I thought that the entire time. That's why it's a superior model.
Yeah. 100%.
18 after 7, let's check traffic and come back with sport in just a moment. When the UV's 3 and above, cover up, use sun protection. Stay sun smart, download the Sun Smart app.
Thanks. We've got a tree down to look out for this morning at St Agnes, Hancock Road at North East Road, blocking parts of the intersection there. At Croydon Park, breakdown on the north-south motorway near Regency Road. Sluggish for works at St Mary's, road plates in use there, South Road near Princess Parade, and getting busy at Leawood Gardens, Mount Parker Road near the freeway. You find early morning cameras today, Grants Gully Road, Clarendon, and Harris Road at Vale Park. Shell Card customers in South Australia can use their Shell Card at all 23 Liberty service stations across the state. Visit shell.com.au/fuel finder for your nearest station. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
I got this lovely video message by Steve. Steve was my cousin's next door neighbour, 40 years ago. Well, Steve moved to South America.
G'day Matthew, long time no see. Every day in my office in Panama City, I start my day with Matthew Pantelis.
Weekday mornings from 9.
And maybe one day I'll give you a ring.
On 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Get obsessed with the Honda SUV range at Formula Honda, Modbury and Glen Osmond. Whether it's the compact HRV, the sporty mid-sized Honda ZR-V, or the spacious CR-V. And for a limited time, new Honda SUVs come with a 7-year warranty, 7-year roadside assist, and 5 standard low-price services at $199 each. Visit Formula Honda, Modbury or Glen Osmond and test drive today. Vehicles used for a commercial purpose have a 7-year or 200,000 kilometre warranty, whichever occurs first. T's and C's at honda.com.au.
Due to the anatomy of their neck muscles and spine, pigs are unable to look upwards. They can't see the clouds. They also won't see the soft cloud pillow from Aldi for $29.99. With 24 microfiber filled pockets giving a cloud-like feel. It's special you can buy at the Aldi Luxe Living Sale this Wednesday. Range differs between stores while stocks last. Aldi, good, different.
If you're always the one taking the photo to avoid being in the photo, and selfies are something other people do, Next Smile Australia can help. Get a new set of long-lasting teeth you'll want to show off, and get them fast in as little as 1 day, thanks to Australia's leading all-on-4 dental surgeons and clinicians. Get the smile of your life with Next Smile Australia. Book your complimentary consultation now at nextsmile.com.au.
If you're looking for curtains, blinds or awnings, explore all the possibilities at Rundle Blinds and Curtains, Adelaide's premier window furnishings company at Kings Park.
Call Rundle Blinds and Curtains or drop in to find out about incredible February 2024 special offers, including double Qantas points on the entire Luxaflex collection. That's right, double Qantas points on the entire Luxaflex collection.
It's the perfect way to rack up some serious Qantas points while also getting quality blinds, curtains and awnings to improve the look, comfort and feel of your home.
Don't wait, head into the Rundle Blinds Kings Park showroom, call them on 82741210 or go online at rundleblinds.com.au.
Join over 60,000 Adelaide homes and say yes to lowering your energy bills with Yes, your energy saving solutions. Do you know how much that old fridge in the shed is adding to your electricity bill? Your energy saving solutions can collect your old inefficient fridges and freezers for free, and the best part is that you can also get up to $150 per unit. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from Your Energy Saving Solutions, go to yes.net.au. That's yess.net.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
23 after 7. We'll talk sport in a moment, including Warren Treadray on Sam Powell-Pepper, and you'll hear from Jordan Dawson.
Scott from Modbury disagrees with what we were just saying about the state voice. LOL, guys, I find it amusing. You think once this new gravy train for the Aboriginal industry pulls into the station, it will ever go away. Doesn't matter how bad it is. You're a racist in the game of politics, trumps everything, and pollies will put up with anything not to be called it. Thanks for that, Scott.
Well, we did have politicians championing the no vote.
Yeah,
that proved pretty successful.
Well,
you might argue it's the thing that
60% of the country.
Yeah, like Peter Dutton, I think owes a deal of his increase in his popularity over the last 12 months Tui's advocacy for the no position.
Yeah. On a much lighter note, we're getting plenty of suggestions on the Duttons text line, not Peter Duttons. It's Duttons are excellent and highly reputable car dealers, about where Pink should go kayaking while she's here, given her love of kayaking. Kay in Golden Grove says Pink should head to the mighty Murray, no sharks. That is true. And Ian in Morphett Vale says if Pink is time poor, maybe she should just go to West Lakes and have a paddle there.
I've done the West Lakes Loop a number of times in my life.
Round Delphin Island?
Round Delphin Island. Very
Beautiful.
pleasant sort of a paddle.
Good spot.
All right, let's turn our attention to sport. $19 snooty Monday to Wednesday at the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and Lighthouse Wharf. You just know it's a Barrow hotel. The Sam Powell Pepper Tribunal decision's the first test for the AFL's stance on head-high collisions for 2024. That'll take place tonight. And last night on the sports show, Warren Treadray had his thoughts.
When you do that, right, you play the way he does, you're going to get it wrong sometimes.
Well, that's right.
And everyone can sit back. And if I'm looking to be a legal defence here, the tackle Rioli taking Keane to ground, it contributed to it. Of course it did. The facts are when people are starting to say, "Oh, yeah, he's a thug," he's doing what he's told. He brings defensive pressure as good as anyone. And early last year, when we were struggling, Tim, I had a chat to my dad, who you know, and he goes, "We need 17 of him because he comes to play every week and leaves nothing out."
And he's going to be a byproduct of the new game.
And the problem is, we watch it in slow-mo. Watch in slow-mo to see where contact is made, whether it's shoulder, elbow, hip, head gets flicked or not. Other than that, playing in real speed, because that's what real people play in.
I think whenever these sorts of incidents come up, we zap through to the film. And, But often get Warren makes a really intelligent argument around the tackle and the speed of it and everything. These get made every time this happens. The AFL repeatedly says we don't care. If someone gets hit in the head, someone's guilty.
Yeah.
But I think we sometimes try and say it's like the justice system, where there needs to be intent and there needs to be this, that. The AFL doesn't care about any of that. They've said now, if you try to smother and you hit someone in the head, you get rubbed out. So they don't care about any mitigating circumstance.
And to Warren's point, which is completely logical, so if the split-second JFK video style Zabruda, that's a great analogy, the frame-by-frame account doesn't get you off anymore, isn't the next logical step to just remove that type of play from the game? At the coaching and club level, they just say, well, we just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what the AFL wants to happen.
So that's it.
Yeah, I think it is it.
We got to get good text earlier. I don't know who sent it. Oh, sorry, it's buried in the mountain of text we've been getting all morning. But someone said, is someone going to tell the commentators to stop going, whoa, and responding like it's, a great knock?
Yeah.
Because it's sort of been celebrated for a long time.
It's hard to get that out of your system.
Yeah. I mean, we often talk about Sloane v Dangerfield. And the
great moment, except...
What would happen with that now? Would that be an issue? Would that get looked at?
Was Dangerfield concussed?
Oh, you're pouncing around a bit. Yeah. He was doing Dangerfield things.
Yeah, okay.
I love you, Paddy, just in case you're still listening.
Turns out
he does give it a little bit of money.
Oh, he loves it. He's a real showman. The danger. Don't worry about that. Speaking of voices from the past, Tom Duday, I liked his comment on the announcement that Kate would be filling in for you over the weekend, in which he just simply said major upgrade. So thank you, dude. All the best up there in Brisbane. The Captain's Day was held in Melbourne yesterday. All the captains got together. They got asked all sorts of questions about their club and the league and where it's all going. Here's a little bit of what Jordan Dawson had to say.
Taking on the extra responsibility was something I was a bit worried about, but I think having that extra drive and motivation, along with the passion that I've got for the club and the players, it was probably always going to work out well for me, I think, just because how much I love the group already and just the staff and the fan base and everyone.
We do criticise missteps and tactical decisions and selection stuff-ups a lot. What a masterstroke last year saying, Jordan Dawson, you're the captain and you're playing in the midfield. Look, has there ever been a series of better decisions that have been made?
I think Robbo's got him at number 23 on his list of best players and made that very point that, this guy was sort of meandering around half-back flank, and now he's the engine room and the leader. It's good.
Great decisions. Real bold sort of decision-making that paid immediate dividends. Long may it continue. 28 after 7. We're going to take a break. 5AA News is coming up. Phil Curry will join us to talk federal politics next.
Sky News Australia investigates the greatest mystery in aviation history. The unsolved case of flight MH370.
It's time to acknowledge that everything has failed, but not everything has been tried.
It's the cover-up. We need to find the airplane. 238 people were murdered.
MH370, 10 years on. Stream now. Download the Sky News Australia app. Conditions apply.
Stay safe and secure with Care Alert's GPS personal alarm. If an emergency happens, just press the SOS button to call for help. And at the same time, it will send your exact location via SMS to your emergency contacts. The Care Alert also has fall detection, and you can even speak through your pendant. All for just $379 with free programming and delivery included. Contact Care Alert on 1300 75 85 95 or visit carealert.com.au.
Hey, you in the car. If your next service is due, just remember that Mawson Lakes Mazda has your back. We'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. Your car gets the love too, with our state-of-the-art service centre brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 36 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? Complete Windscreens can repair it from just $99. Look for the big red koala.
Investigations are continuing into a shooting at Wavell. Shots were fired at a man and a woman in an underground car park on Greenhill Road yesterday morning. Senior Constable Dave Backus says no one was injured.
Eastern District CIB and crime scene investigators are continuing their investigations into the incident. A Mercedes sedan has been towed from the scene for forensic examination. It's still very early in the investigation, however, the incident is not believed to be random at this time.
Meantime, the opposition claims South Australia's crime crisis is worsening by the day. Shadow Attorney General Josh Teague is calling on the government to review penalties for crime following a spree that includes the shooting and a firebombing in North Adelaide. Latest SAPOL crime statistics show property damage by fire or explosion has rocketed by 15%. Josh Teague says the Premier must launch an immediate review of penalties for serious crime. A former homicide detective is confident police will find the bodies of a Sydney couple believed to have been murdered by a serving constable. Beau Lamar Condon is accused of killing Jesse Baird and Luke Davies with his police-issued gun. Officers have been scouring dams in the New South Wales southern tablelands in search of the pair. Gary Jubilin is confident they will be found, but says it's a complex operation.
It's not just one crime scene, it's multiple crime scenes. There's all this information that would be received. They'd be collating the information. I'm sure they've got their analysts on it. And I think we're in a good position to recover the bodies. I'm looking at the timeline from the time gunshots were heard, clothing being found in bins with blood, and to where we are now.
More than 100 candidates have been nominated to be part of South Australia's Voice to Parliament ahead of elections to be held next month. The state voice body will be made up of 6 local voices, with the members of each local voice representing their region at a state level. Each local region will be made up of 7 members, except for the 11-member Central Region. Minister for Aboriginal Affairs Kaya Ma says they'll be paid a nominal amount to be involved.
Very, very minor payment in recognition of the work that people do. So your person who gets elected to a regional body will receive $3,000 a year. So it's not a huge payment, but it does recognise that with this role will become, they'll be a conduit for their community, providing the voices to government.
Tonight, Pink will be on stage at Adelaide Oval, but last night she was looking down on the venue during a roof climb. It was her first port of call after flying in with her family. Almost 60,000 tickets have been sold for this stop on her national tour. This woman has told Seven she's a long-time fan.
I've been to every Adelaide show since she first came for Rumba, which was in 2002. We are arriving early. We've got golden pods, so I'm going to be bustling up to be up by the barrier.
Gates will open at 5. The support act will be on stage at 7. And now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
And now here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Graham. Port Adelaide forward Sam Powell-Pepper is set to front the AFL tribunal tonight as he learns what penalty he'll receive for his high bump on Adelaide defender Mark Keane. Meantime, the inaugural Charity Shield match between Richmond and Collingwood will see several big names back for each side. Alex Riddell reports.
Dion Prestia will return from injury for Richmond this evening in their practice match against Collingwood at Icon Park. Liam Baker, Tim Taranto, Dustin Martin and Dylan Grimes will all play after missing the Tigers match simulation against Melbourne. But Tigers captain Toby Nankervis will miss the clash due to an ongoing foot issue, with Baker standing in as captain. While Collingwood Premiership stars Scott Pendlebury and Jeremy Howe will sit out of the match, but they're both expected to play the opening round clash with GWS. It comes after Pendlebury received a knock to the knee yesterday, while Howe is battling a corked calf. While Jack Crisp, Jamie Elliott and captain Darcy Moore are just some of the Premiership players returning for the clash for Collingwood after missing the match simulation against the Kangaroos.
Let's go to cricket. Australian spinner Nathan Lyon is calling for an end to two-match test series ahead of their upcoming battle with the Black Caps in New Zealand. He wants all series to be 3 or more matches. Meantime, India has won a third straight test match against England, winning by 5 wickets overnight to take an unassailable 3-1 series lead with one test still to play in that series. And in some soccer to finish, West Ham leads Brentford 2-1 in their English Premier League match this morning, heading into the second half. And that's the 5AA Sport.
And now checking 5AA traffic.
To protect your skin, download the SunSmart app, check the UV daily, and slip, slop, slap, seek and slide.
At Croydon Park, got a breakdown to look out for. It's on the north-south motorway near Regency Road. Para's got a crash, Gorge Road near Newton Road, causing a few delays. Work's also slowing things up at Glenside, Fullerton Road near Mulberry Road. Bit of activity at Leewood Gardens, making it sluggish too. Mount Barker Road near the freeway. Getting busy, Brighton Road, Brighton, with a camera at Ballou Street and Ingle Farm. Order the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra at Telstra and get a bonus Graphite Galaxy Watch 6, ends March 4. Eligibility criteria apply, and find out more in store. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
Sunny and 36 today. Tomorrow, a morning cool change, sunny 31. Thursday, cloud clearing 27. Friday, mostly sunny 29. Right now in Adelaide, it's 23. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
Three minutes to 8. We've got a jury coming up very shortly. This is an old subject made new in light of the events of the last week. It's somewhat entertainment related, somewhat politics related. The jury not too far away. Then after 8 this morning, breaking at 8, and also Colin Dorber, the CEO of the Lockyer Valley, to talk about the shortage of tinned beetroots and pineapples.
Tin beetroot? This is a direct assault on the fabric of our existence in Australia. How are you going to make a real hamburger without tin beetroot?
I don't think that's overstating it at all. Dave in Blakeview has called into the program. Morning to you, Dave.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate. Dave.
Good. Hey, like to thank you for the meat tray on Friday.
Oh yeah, mate. Was it good?
It was all right, mate, but I couldn't go by without topping it up.
You're a big eater, mate.
I'd psyched myself up for a tomahawk.
Yeah, fair enough.
But the boys didn't have any, but they had a couple of bricks of short ribs. So one of those come home and a couple of extra pieces of porterhouse.
Oh, beautiful.
Mum grabbed a jar of pickled onions off the shelf, so I knew where they were going, but he met worse than pickled onions on shats, biscuits and black bottle brandy and coke.
Oh, mate, now you're talking.
I'm still dreaming about it, though. But nah, all good, thank you, guys.
No, not at all, Dave. We love laying on the meat trays. We love supporting the local independent, often family-run butchers, so good on you.
Good call, Dave.
I've got a real craving now for a bit of Jats and pickled onion action.
Magnificent. Sharon's called in. Morning, Sharon.
Yeah, good morning, guys. How are we all this morning?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. I'm just ringing. I've just driven past the burst water main that's just happened on Stropart Road at Newton. It didn't get reported in your news reports. I thought I'd ring up and let everyone know that it's happening.
Well, you guys are often quicker than the news.
Good on you, Sharon.
You're our eyes and ears out there on the road.
I'll tell you what, we're going to give you a 5AA breakfast mug, Sharon. Thank you. We appreciate you being told what's going on out there. There is another incident that we do have our eyes on. Darley Road, Newton Road and Gorge Road intersection. Cops, Ambos, the MFS are all there. Truck v car collision. Traffic banked up in all directions.
No good. We cross now to Canberra to talk to our great mate Phil Curry, who is the National Political Editor of the Australian Financial Review. G'day, Phil. How's it going there, mate?
Good, fellas. Oh, house on fire.
Tickety-boo.
Yeah.
How's it all going with Albo at the moment? Was that poll yesterday, was that of concern, do you think?
Yeah, look, it's the fourth one now since they did the fourth poll now since they did the tax cut backflip, and they've all said the same thing, that the unscathed but unrewarded, I think, is the takeout. We had one last week, and there's been two news polls and one in the Herald. I think on a net basis, you know, the Labor Party sort of feels a lot better about themselves, so if it's done one thing for them, it's given them their sort of confidence and morale back, but it hasn't really translated yet into into the polls. It's going to be a pretty nervous day on this Saturday because there's the by-election in the Melbourne seat of Dunkley. That was caused by the death late last year of Peter Murphy, and she died of cancer, poor Peter. But it used to be a Liberal seat, and Labor grabbed it back in, I think, 2019, and it's about 6% margin, but there's a bit of an anti-Morrison element to that margin, so it's going to be really tight. Both sides are saying it's really tight, and it would be big catastrophe for Labor if they lost it. I don't think they will lose it. It's very unusual to lose a seat in a by-election, especially if it's caused by the death of a member. It's not sort of one to generate voter anger, but there's a lot of nervousness in the Labor Party. The Libs are saying if they get a swing of about 4%, that'll do them. I mean, they need signs of life in Melbourne themselves. You know, Victoria's been hostile towards the Liberals for so long now, so Dutton needs a bit of he needs a bit of hope down there come the federal election. So both sides are really sweating on it, and if a bad result for Labor, there'll be a bit of dissent inside the government. I suggest, as someone said to me last night, we just spent $110 billion on a tax cut. You wouldn't want to lose a seat. Yeah, and Dunkley is your classic Middle Australia seat. I mean, if you were to, Labor talks about Middle Australia, this Middle Australia, that, the demographics down there just straight out of central casting. So, a lot riding on it.
You've crunched the numbers in the Fin Review, Phil, on that this concept that the Libs don't necessarily need a win for this to be a win. If they get a swing of around 4%, they'll take it. What does that look like in the national picture? If they get a 4% swing in Dunkley, what's your? I mean, we had 52-48 news poll for the last 3 months, but what does that look like in terms of the chances the coalition could form government?
Oh, look, I still think highly unlikely. Will they're just so far? They lost so many seats at the last election. It's really a two-term job at a minimum. They would need to win. I think they're on I lost count because I've got a few defectors lately to the crossbench, but they need to win around 20 seats more. And no one's done that since John Howard in '96 and Tony Abbott in 2013. I think won 18, and they were massive landslides against a divided long-term Labor government, and this one's neither long-term nor divided, and I don't think people are going to be in a mind to throw them out. I mean, politics is a lot more volatile these days, but there's really, you don't get the sense out there people want to throw this government out. I still think the big, the next election's going to be whether Labor stays in majority or gets pushed into minority, and, if it's only got 77 seats, so if they have to lose 3 or 4, and you're back going cap in hand to the Greens and all else on the crossbench for support. So I think that's still the most likely scenario. But, if Dutton wins 10 or 12 seats, you never know. There's 17 members of the crossbench. Not all of them are left wing. There might be half a chance he could sort of negotiate a minority government, but very unlikely. I think it's it's for the Liberals. The next election's about getting competitive again for a crack in 28.
Great stuff, as always, Phil Curry, the National Political Editor of the Fin Review. My favourite political story at the moment comes from our Premier, Peter Malinauskas, who had this to say at a public forum in Whyalla on Sunday night. He was asked by the crowd about the fact that politicians frequently vow to reduce the cost of living, and he replied to that, well, 9 times out of 10, it's all bullshit.
Okay. Right.
Which is refreshing. It's refreshingly honest, Except if you're in that line of work, it'd be like being, I don't know, a used car dealer and saying, well, look, you know, if you want an honest answer, I wouldn't believe the numbers on 9 out of those 10 odometers. Or maybe, I don't know, let's get a bit self-reflective here. Tabloid journalists. Well, look, you know, if we are honest, 9 out of the 10 stories I write, I've made them up.
So
Seriously?
He's been the Premier for 2 years during cost of living crisis. Is he saying 9/10 of everything he said is bull?
Well, I don't know.
Or is he responsible for the only 10% of honest discussion around cost of living?
We need to go back. Luce and Sam, we need to go back through the files and get the last 10 interviews he's done on the 5AA Breakfast Show and work out in which one of them is he telling the truth.
He seems to not think highly of political rhetoric or politicians at the moment, the Premier. The last week during the defence announcement, he said, well, press releases, lots get said, I wouldn't believe any of it. And then now 9 out of 10 things that get said about cost of living are bull.
To put it in his context, the context he wants it to be put in, this is what he said afterwards. Paul Starrick, to Staz's great credit, clearly realised this was something of a story and took the Premier aside and said, look, what were you trying to... What was the point you were trying to make there, Mally? And the Premier in reply says, well, I think you should commit to being honest to everybody in all your relationships. But, you know, people will look for honesty and frankness. That doesn't mean that politicians shouldn't be nuanced on occasion. You've got to think about the words you use carefully. But, yeah, of course, I mean, I've never sought to be dishonest.
Well, maybe,
that's for sure.
I think some of his colleagues might say the Premier should aim to be a little bit less honest, maybe at these public forums.
Well, I mean, the one promise I'm sort of wondering about, because I think I read it on a poster once on the side of a road somewhere 2 years ago, said, Labor will fix the ramping crisis. Because numerically at the moment, you'd have to say that is very much in the 9 out of 10 category.
I think that's squarely in the 9 out of 10.
Bullshit. And, I mean, yesterday, you know, with the active involvement of my wife, we clearly threw the switch to profanity here on the 5AA Breakfast Show, hiding behind the skirts of some potty mouth parrots. So yeah, if I'm quoting the Premier when I say it's bullshit.
Oh dear. We're gonna.
Where's Matt Abraham when you need him?
Well, yeah. Speaking of bull dust detectors, we've got the jury coming up on an issue that did cause a bit of debate at the last state election.
In the criminal justice system, all defendants are innocent until proven guilty, either by confession, plea bargain, or trial by jury. This is one of those trials.
Astronomical figures have been quoted for the impact Taylor Swift has on the cities that she's visited, so much so that it's basically just shy of combining Gather Round, Live Golf and the V8s all together in one night. Is kind of what she generates for the cities she goes to, which has raised the spectre of a bigger, purpose-built concert venue in South Australia to attract the biggest acts in the world. Now,
I wonder if Steve Marshall's listening.
You might recall an argument about this was put at the last state election.
He's allowed to be a juror.
He could ring in on the jury.
He's out of politics now.
We want to know whether, with the benefit of hindsight, do we need a new concert venue to attract big name stars here in South Australia?
Well, we might have got Tay-Tay, and we might have got the, you know, using the back of the beer coaster sums that they do. The Leon Bignolometer, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That device to work out how much money's injected into something when, you know, Sam Smith concert's held or something like that. You'd rather have Tay-Tay than Sam Smith, wouldn't
What's the phrasing we want our jurors to use? 8223
rubbish or
rock and roll?
A rockin' idea.
Rubbish or rockin' idea? Rubbish or rockin' idea? Purpose-built concert venue. You could even call it a basketball stadium if you wanted to. 8223 0000. Be part of the jury and let us know whether you think that would be a wise investment. Your position may have even changed since the last election. 8223 0000. Rubbish idea or rockin' the idea for a specific venue. Let's check traffic when the UV's 3 and above. Cover up, use sun protection, stay sun smart. Download the Sun Smart app.
Thanks, Will. At Croydon Park, got a breakdown at the moment on the north-south motorway. It's near Regency Road, but causing really big delays inbound. Smash at Paradise, Gorge Road near Newton Road, pretty sluggish around that whole area due to that. And Mansfield Park, a crash, Hanson Road near Green Junction Road. Getting busy at Glenside for works, Fullerton Road near Mulberry Road with cameras Harris Road, Vale Park, and Hillier Road at Brunella. This February, Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. With 15 stores located in Adelaide, they'll look after you. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Right now, Toyota Material Handling is having a massive clear out of 2023 plated forklifts. Score a great deal across a selected range of new Toyota forklifts currently in stock. Counterbalance and reach forklifts, walkie stackers and more. So if it's 2023 plated, get a great Toyota forklift deal. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift. T's and C's apply. Offer ends March 31st.
This is what it sounds like to win the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Speechless. The $3.6 million grand prize could be your new life at Henley Beach in a fully furnished Scott Salisbury dream home. Let that sink in. homelottery.com.au. Join the fight and support life-changing medical research for all South Australians. Licence M14493.
Well, school is back, and if music was one of your child's subjects, well, you'll be equally pleased to know that Derringer's Music has everything you need to start the year right. Guitars, keyboards, drums, you name it, they've got it.
Derringer's is great. They've got a team of in-the-know musos ready to help, and they've all been on the same journey your child is about to embark on, so who better to speak with?
And when it comes to the selection of Yamaha instruments, it's safe to say Derringer's Music is unmatched for range and value. Plus, right now you'll find an incredible back-to-school offer right across the store, which includes all things Yamaha.
Back to school? Well, make it easy with Derringers and Yamaha, your local support act. Check out their website, derringers.com.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. For fixed price services, call Precise.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
In the criminal justice system, all defendants are innocent until proven guilty, either by confession, plea bargain, or trial by jury. This is one of those trials.
Asking you this morning on a state election issue from 2022 that has raised its head again this week, with Pearl Jam not coming to Adelaide.
What happened there? We were totally led up the garden path that they were coming to
I think everyone thought that was happening.
Yeah.
Everyone except
we
Pearl
certainly
Jam.
did.
Yeah. That one took everyone by surprise. Taylor Swift, of course, famously. And we have been given, in the last 2 years, to giving large amounts of taxpayers' money to attract big events because there is a multiplying factor in terms of how that impacts the economy, things like Live Golf and Gather Round. So, does it not hold true, too, then, for a major concert venue or a new entertainment centre or, God forbid, a basketball stadium, at which you can say to these big acts, come here and make a bucket load of cash? We're asking you, a new concert venue for Adelaide, rubbish or rockin' idea? Rubbish or rockin'? Someone texted through garbage. Someone texted through
Did
garbage.
they want garbage to play, or are they just using the term garbage?
Maybe garbage have missed Adelaide as well. I missed that headline. We've got a couple of jury positions left if you've got a view. Rubbish or rockin' idea, a new concert venue for Adelaide. 8223 on the text line. Simon in Seaford says, at the last election we were given a choice, a purpose-built music sports stadium or fixing ramping. Thanks to Chris Picton, we now have none. Let's be honest, we can't even get escalators at Noarlunga Railways working after 4 years.
They're still waiting for the parts to come from Germany, aren't
Well, I think Simon's hit on it. At the time, it was structured as a choice between those two things. Well,
Faye's opened the shoulders, had a massive crack here. She says Pembo's rusted on liberal biases hitting the airwaves again. 90% of your advertiser articles are bullshit. So he probably has the knowledge and a good point. Thank you for that, Faye. I'll take 1 in 10's a pretty good column by the sound of it. Thanks, Faye.
I just wish Faye was clear with what she thought.
I love texts like that.
All right,
good on her.
Let's get
free
to
country. Say what you like.
Let's get to the jury. Rubbish or rockin' idea? Juror number 1, what say you?
Rockin'. If I could just quickly say, the perfect rectangular stadium, Amy Park in Melbourne, is a perfect concert venue as well. Elton John and Taylor Swift performed there a while, but 30,000 is the best atmosphere, and you can use it 35, 40 times a year for NRL, soccer, and A-League crowds will get bigger because Port from Footy Park went to Adelaide Oval. Their crowds went up. It's absolute no-brainer to have a rectangular stadium that houses concert acts, world-class concert acts as well.
Good on you, Juror number 1.
Juror number 1, I should say. Juror number 2, good morning.
Good morning. It's rubbish. No, we don't need it. They could perhaps prop up one of the hospitals that are closing and give the names of the performing artists the rights to have their name on the building.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Oh, so we have the Taylor Swift Western Hospital.
Yeah, imagine that. Oh, no, I've done my knee. I've got to go to...
yeah, I've got to go into Swifty.
I've got to go into Swifty, get my knee done.
Thank you, Juror number 2. I like that idea. Juror number 3, good morning.
Good morning. Rubbish. Rather be entertained by people's good health.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you,
Nicely
Juror
put.
number 3.
Nicely worded, Juror number 3.
Juror number 4, good morning.
Good morning. Look, I don't like to be a pedant, but I just wanted to point out that the decision at the last election over the stadium was actually only going to provide an extra 4,000 seats over what the entertainment centre currently offers. So it just wasn't going to make any difference to Taylor or anyone like that. It was smaller than the Adelaide Oval. So good idea, but I think wrong location.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we put you down as rubbish, Juror number 4, or rockin' idea?
Rockin' idea, but put it at the West End.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Thank you, Juror number 4. Juror number 5, good morning.
Good morning. I think build it and they will come.
Is that you, Coots? Oh, sorry.
Definitely not Tom Keaton.
Oh, my goodness. Thought we had something there. That would have been superb.
Worth asking.
Juror number 6, good morning.
Good morning, boys. How are we today?
Good, thank you, Juror.
I was a bit apprehensive about spending $500 million on the Adelaide Oval upgrade, but since that money's been spent, everybody can see the results. So for me, it's a rockin' idea. Let's do it. Let's get the people here.
Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you, Juror number 6. Juror number 7, good morning.
Rubbish.
Rubbish. A simple...
I need that new hospital. I need a new bloody hip.
Yeah, well, you'd rather have a hip than,
someone who is hip.
Someone who is hip, a hipster.
Yeah.
Juror number 7. We hope that lady gets a hip as well.
Definitely.
Well, that's a long night ahead for that jury. Because I've got it at 4-3.
4-3?
Yeah.
Only takes
4 rubbish, 3 rockin'.
So anyone changes their mind and it changes the total vote. It changes the majority.
Yeah, but does it have to be a majority decision?
Oh, we haven't gotten to the weeds on them.
We need to ask Sean Fuster.
What legislation governs the 5AA breakfast jury?
Yeah, well, I thought the best comment was Simon in Seaford. We haven't got the ramping stuff fixed. So what are we talking about?
No, we ended up choosing none of the above.
But it was so clever for Labor. It was a brilliant campaign that they ran to make it this, to craft it into this absurd binary choice where basically and Marshall did not see the freight train coming. Like, it basically felt like, did you know Stephen Marshall is going to pay for this basketball stadium by ripping children off dialysis machines?
That's right. One hospital bed at a time. We're going to pay for your.
That's right.
You to see pink.
But it worked. It was a killer tactic.
It did work. It worked to a point. The hospital ramping payoff part of the promise is still awaiting conclusion.
Calling it a basketball stadium too, it stuck, didn't it?
Completely.
Like, the basketball part of it was going to be hardly anything. Like, it was going to be somewhere where you could play basketball if you wanted to. Not a basketball stadium. It wasn't like, They
weren't building it for the 36ers.
No.
But they were just a co-tenant.
Yeah, exactly.
2 minutes to 8, 5AA News is coming up, breaking at 8 shortly thereafter. Lots of texts, we'll get to those as well. The Dutton's text line running hot this morning, thanks to the excellent people there at Dutton's. Big 10 Ford, GWM Haval, Hyundai, Isuzu Ute, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Nissan Ram, Subaru and Volkswagen. Dutton's, they're easy to do business with. Also have a quick peruse of the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. The sun is up. Beautiful hot day in Adelaide today, the hottest of the week. We will have more details on that in the next hour.
Get a read on your year. Get better at money stuff. Get a different point of view. Get your travel on and get in the game. Get school lunches absolutely nailed. Get more out of 24 with The Advertiser. We're for you.
Snooze members save up to 40% off. Save up to 40% off mattresses and up to 40% off bed frames. Hurry, the Snooze member event ends Sunday. Exclusions, T's and C's apply.
Amazing what a little snooze can do.
Now let's see what's in the swear jar at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens.
Boy, that's a cookie jar.
Oh, busted. My mistake. Let's see. Here it is. Here's one from Renette, an interior designer at Buy Urban for over 20 years. Renette swears to ensure your dream bathroom becomes a wonderful reality. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts. Wouldn't mind a cookie.
Hey, you in the car? If your next service is due, just remember that Mawson Lakes Mazda has your back. We'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. Your car gets the love too, with our state-of-the-art service centre brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 36 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Graham Goodings.
From chips to replacements, make Complete Windscreens your insurer repairer of choice. CompleteWindscreens.com.au.
Police are continuing to investigate a shooting incident at Wavell yesterday. They're hunting for a gunman after shots were fired in an underground car park on Greenhill Road. No one was injured in the incident, and police say it was not a random attack. Meantime, the state government has hit back at claims that crime is out of control. Latest SAPOL data shows property damage by fire or explosion has skyrocketed by 15%. Police Minister Joe Sockarch says they're strengthening laws and the force itself as a matter of priority.
We have the most police per head for any of the population here in this country, and we're growing that with an extra 900 recruited across the next 3 years.
The Workplace Gender Equality Agency wants employers to lift their game to close the gender pay gap. New data shows half of all private sector employers have a gender pay gap of more than 9%. The agency's Lucy Bradlow says the report should be a catalyst for change.
The key action that employers need to take is to look at their gender pay gap and see what the drivers are. Every employer will have a different driver of workplace gender equality. For some, it might be workforce composition. For others, it might be a lack of take-up of flexible working options.
Former Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison will deliver his parting words to Parliament this morning, closing the door on an 18-year or 17-year career. Mr Morrison announced he would retire from politics last month to embark on new challenges in the corporate world. Dentists are alarmed at the damage being done to the teeth of young patients who vape, leaving them with hefty dental bills. Alex Riddell reports.
Dentists are seeing a trend of patients aged between 12 and 15 years with black bacteria on their gums, while dental cavities yellowing of teeth, mouth sores and fungal infections of the mouth have all been linked to vaping. The Herald Sun reports vapes are wrecking the teeth and jaws of young people in a way often seen with illicit drugs, including cocaine and methamphetamine. Vapes contain up to 200 toxic chemicals, including nicotine and those found in paint stripper and weed killer.
More than 5 million Australians will live with arthritis by 2040. A Monash University study suggests there will be a 30% increase in cases, with more millennials living with the debilitating condition as the population ages. Well, it's time to paint the town pink. Mel Asher has the details.
Sydney may have had Taylor Swift, but tonight we get Pink at Adelaide Oval. Concert goers can travel for free to and from the venue on public transport from 3 this afternoon. External merchandise outlets will be open from 2, gates open at 5, and the concert starts at 7. You must enter through the gate on your ticket. No backpacks or sports bags larger than A3 in size are permitted, and don't bring your signs, banners or flags to Pink. They're not allowed. No large fluffy toys or gifts will be allowed into the Oval either. And Adelaide Oval is a cashless venue. Bring a card or use the digital wallet on your phone to buy food and drink.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
And now here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Graham. Much attention on the AFL Tribunal and Port Adelaide forward Sam Powell-Pepper tonight, with the league set to hand down a suspension to the 26-year-old. There were some encouraging signs for the man who was concussed as a result of Powell-Pepper's bump, with Mark Keane running laps at training yesterday. Meantime, Crows captain Jordan Dawson admits he's excited by the signs he's seen from forward Riley Thilthorpe, who's one of the side's best in last week's pre-season showdown. Dawson telling Rowie and Timmy G, Thilthorpe looked great.
It's great to see Big Philty just having confidence in what he can do. He puts in so much work, so for him mentally to come out and really take it upon himself to be the man, and he obviously had a leader who's a quality defender, and he was able to win a number of one-on-ones, which is great.
Meantime, Victoria Police is investigating Taron Thomas for threats he made to an ex-partner. Thomas was last week sacked by the Roos after he was handed an 18-match suspension from the league. Well, the Matildas have a short window to reacclimatise to the Australian summer before the second leg of their Olympic qualifier in Melbourne against Uzbekistan, which is tomorrow night. They won their opening leg 3-0 in frosty conditions in Central Asia. Meantime, in the English Premier League, the 10-point penalty handed to Everton has been reduced to 6 on appeal. That means the Toffees are now up to 15th, 5 points clear of the drop zone. And there's action on again this morning with West Ham, now 3-1 up against Brentford with about 20 minutes to play. To cricket, and India has secured the Test series against England after a 5-wicket win overnight. The home side now 3-1 up with one test to play. And tennis veteran Andy Murray has hinted he only has a few months left of his career. And that's the 5AA Sport.
And now checking 5AA traffic.
To protect your skin, download the SunSmart app, check the UV daily, and slip, slop, slap, seek and slide.
G'day there, Croydon Park, a breakdown on the north-south motorway near Regency Road. At Paradise, smash there, Gorge Road near Newton Road, and another collision at Northfield, Green Junction Road near Hampstead Road. Busy for works at Modbreed Reservoir Road near Hyson Avenue, with cameras this morning, Lewis Road, Paynham South, and McGill Road at McGill. Japanese number plates have arrived. Complete the look of your car with custom, set series or special edition Japanese plates. Order yours at easyplates.sa.gov.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
A hot one today, sunny and 36. Tomorrow, a morning cool change, sunny 31. Thursday, cloud clearing 27. Friday, mostly sunny 29. Right now, it's 22. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will
Dentists listening. Are there any dentists out there? Would like to talk to a dentist, and look, because this is radio, you won't have to go through the problem of having your face shown on television.
You don't have to face a mirror.
Yeah, we all know about the Oral-B rule, but we're interested to hear from dentists. What first-hand experience have you got of dealing with vapors?
Yeah.
Have you seen young people coming in with teeth looking like they've been on the darts for 40 years on account of chuffing away on the vapes?
Big health warning today, but we want to speak to some dentists who are seeing this at the front line. So if that's you, you can remain totally anonymous too. But what kind of afflictions are you seeing, and how young? How long have they been vaping for? We've got a lot of questions about how this takes hold. So we would like to hear from you. Call Sam and Lucy and have a chat on 8223 0000. We spoke in the previous half hour about the Premier's comments that on reducing cost of living pressures, when politicians talk about it, 9 times out of 10, it's all bull dust. He didn't say bull dust. He said the other bull word.
We'll say BS. We'll tidy it up.
9 times out of 10, it's all BS. Let us know for the $100 Homestyle Foods voucher, what's BS 9 times out of 10?
Oh, I've got one. I'm just having my last drink now. I'm about to call an Uber.
I'll be there in 5 minutes is a definite 9 times out of 10, it's BS. What is BS 9 times out of 10? 8223 0000. You can text us on the Duttons text line.
Coppers listening would say, and we
only had 2 drinks.
I only had 2 drinks. That's always BS.
We have a $100 Unique Homestyles food voucher to give away. What is BS 9 times out of 10?
That's the Melinda Pavey defence. Well, subsequently, a bit like Barnaby, said, I was mixing the medication. Didn't she say she had some medical procedure years ago in Germany that's made her talk funny?
What, Perrin Davey?
Perrin Davey, I mean. Yeah, sorry, I said Melinda Davey. Who's Melinda Davey?
Not sure.
No, well, apologies to Melinda. It's funny, though. The medical condition seems to involve your voice only goes a bit funny after you've had dinner. Because it was fine earlier in the day.
All right, should we do Breaking It 8? Then we'll take some calls on what's BS 9 times out of 10.
Well, there's been a pretty massive setback overnight. I spoke to Greg Jenkins, who is a good friend of the program and obviously the son of the late Anna Jenkins, who went missing in Malaysia in 2017 in a presumed robbery gone wrong and murder. The High Court of Malaysia has struck out his bid to take legal action against the developer and the project manager of the apartment complex where his late mother's body was found in 2017. They argue that he has no legal standing, and this is absurd. They've said that he could not have filed the lawsuit without obtaining permission from his late mother's estate. How you get permission to take legal action from someone who is already dead is anyone's guess, but beyond that, and this is the most galling part of the High Court's ruling, Greg and his family have been arguing that their mother's remains were interfered with and moved prior to being handed to the police, and that they had originally concealed the discovery of his mother's remains. Well, the High Court has turned around and said that the Jenkins family should be grateful that their mother's body was reported to the police at all, and on top of that, they've ordered the Jenkins family to pay court costs as well to cover the property developing company and the project manager. So a massive blow to Greg Jenkins. We're going to try to talk to Greg over the next couple of days to hear what next. But as far as things currently stand, the outcome of his bid to take legal action against the company could not be any more bleak and depressing. It's terrible that family's had to endure. The whole thing looks like a stitch up. And, Greg, he texted me last night saying there's a total kick in the guts, the poor bloke, so we'll try to follow.
Feels like there should be a bigger story on a relations between the two countries level.
Yeah, I feel like the federal government set this one out.
I feel like they don't want it to be a big story.
I do know Penny Wong has mentioned it once, but it doesn't feel like anyone's really picked up the cudgels and run with it.
I mean, an Australian family member, Australian has died, and what looks like a total cover-up of convenience, and what the government goes, Well,
maybe in a geopolitical sense.
I think that's
you go, how many countries do we want to have bad relations with in Southeast Asia? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. We're asking you this morning for the $100 Homestyle Unique Homestyle Foods voucher. What is BS 9 times out of 10? The Premier said when politicians talk cost of living, it's BS 9 times out of 10. Someone rather uncharitably on the Duttons text line says FIVEAA.
Thank you.
What do you mean? I think at 10%.
Is that
maybe they're
again?
suggesting we've improved. Dave in Clarence Gardens, what's BS 9 times out of 10?
When the wife says, "I'm sorry, you're right."
Thank you, Dave. Dean in Craigmore, good morning.
Yeah, when you get up on a Sunday morning and you decide, I'm just ducking down to Bunnings, be back in half an hour.
Yep. 9 times out of 10, you're not back in half an hour, Dean. Sam in Theberton, good morning.
Good morning, boys. I hate when the Premier says that the electricity prices are dropping. What a lot of BS, because they're always going up.
Yeah,
well,
no one's made a good power price.
Ask the Prime Minister what the latest on that is. Nathan here says 9 out of 10 BS is Port's hierarchy making finals predictions. Thank you for that, Nathan. Mark says 9 times out of 10 when anybody says the board has you have the full support of the board.
Good one, Mark. I like that.
I reckon Brad Banducci and the woman from
full support of the
Optus,
board.
They had full support of the board. Chris says, morning, boys. Something's always BS. When someone at work says, oh, I've got a bit of a headache, I'm going to go home and see how I go. Hopefully I'll be in tomorrow. That person is never turning up.
That's
Todd from Highbury says, 9 times out of 10 when you're waiting on hold, we apologise for the wait, we value your time, and we will be with you shortly. That's always BS.
Yeah, shortly.
One here from long-suffering mum, Kaz. 9 times out of 10 when your son says, yes, mum, I've tidied my room. BS. That's complete BS.
Rob says 9 times out of 10 turning up for your doctor's appointment. The time you're appointed to see a doctor is BS, which is 100% true.
Even if you get there at 9 a.m.
Yeah, the first appointment of the day. So running a little bit behind.
That's right.
What is BS 9 times out of 10? Inspired by the Premier. We've got a $100 unique Home Styles food voucher to give away. We'll keep taking your calls on this 8223
Do you reckon they'd be happy we've spent as much time talking about this as we have?
What you mean as opposed to the jobs creation bonanza that's happening in the northern part of the state?
Yeah.
No, would be the short answer.
No. Sort of buried the jobs creation bonanza a little bit, didn't it?
I actually think it's a good story.
The jobs creation bonanza.
The jobs creation bonanza is it's actually
well, that's been running in the news.
It has been, and it's not BS. I think that's a legitimately good story.
Yeah, it is a good story. So maybe that's the 1 in 10.
There it is.
So the next 9, just put a line
put a line
from.
there. You're going to be making it up. 15 minutes after 8, let's check traffic. When the UV is 3 and above, cover up. Use sun protection. Stay sun smart. Download the Sun Smart app.
Thanks, Will. At Croydon Park, a breakdown on the north-south motorway. It's near Regency Road, causing really big delays inbound at the moment. Smash at Mansfield Park, causing delays too. Hanson Road near Grange Junction Road. Another collision. This one's at Northfield, Grange Junction Road near Hampstead Road. Busy for works at Glenside, Fullerton Road near Mulberry Road, with cameras McGill Road, McGill, and Sheriff's Road at Ranella. Thinking of knocking down to rebuild? Talk to Burbank Homes. The knockdown rebuild specialists. Start fresh with a brand new build, or even 2 or 3. Search burbank.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The incident that everybody's been talking about was the Sam Powell Pepper bump on Keane.
Well, it's gone straight to the tribunal.
Yes, it has.
Done.
It's just a matter of how many games.
It was careless, it was high, it was severe. It looks like it's going to be 3 weeks.
Rowie and Timmy G.
He didn't know that Rioli was going to sling him. The only way he could avoid that is not playing.
Well,
I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's how he plays.
4 p.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Wow, we're actually moving. Come on. Sure we can get more than 2 of us through the lights. Hello, we're doing like 50 in a 60 zone. Come on, mate. Oh, and then you're going to brake. Excellent. What is taking so long? Come on. Move, woman. It's green. Move. Come on.
Beat the heat. Keep cool with Fix Now, Pay Later options available. Book now. For great service guaranteed, call 1300 Automasters.
Get obsessed with the Honda SUV range at Formula Honda, Modbury and Glen Osmond. Whether it's the compact HRV, the sporty mid-sized Honda ZRV, or the spacious CRV. And for a limited time, new Honda SUVs come with a 7-year warranty, 7-year roadside assist, and 5 standard low-price services at $199 each. Visit Formula Honda, Modbury or Glen Osmond and test drive today. Vehicles used for a commercial purpose have a 7-year or 200,000 kilometre warranty, whichever occurs first. T's and C's at honda.com.au.
Tell you what, I could have done with a bit of this yesterday after that concert. Hearing Australia is making it easier for all Australians to receive expert hearing care.
And to celebrate World Hearing Day on the 3rd of March, Hearing Australia is hitting the road for the Hearing the Nation tour, offering free 15-minute hearing checks for adults.
This nationwide tour will see Hearing Australia visit 1,000 locations across Australia throughout March, stopping in city and country locations in every state and territory.
The 15-minute check is the first step in understanding any potential hearing loss and whether further assessment is required.
If you'd like to get a free 15-minute hearing check, search Hearing the Nation or go to hearing.com.au to find an event near you.
15 times a day, the Royal Flying Doctor will come to the rescue of someone from any corner of South Australia. That's why it's so important to donate on Double Up for Doc Day, March 7. On this special day, every donation you make will be matched by our partners to help fit out a new aircraft with life-saving equipment. Double Up for Doc Day is coming, March 7. For information and to donate on this day, visit flyingdoctor.com.au.
What is taking so long? Come on! Move, woman! It's green! Move!
Keep your cool in traffic with ice cold aircon from Automasters. Fix now, pay later options available. Call 1300 Automasters.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
Mother? Mark in Newton says that's 99 times out of 10, complete BS. I don't think he means crack in the way that your face just suggests. He means having a go at her.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
He doesn't mean...
Oh, no.
You're
in a Borat type sense.
Your Generation X sense of the term having a crack is not what Mark in Newton was having.
That was not the joke.
Someone said 9 times out of 10 it's BS when you say you're going to only buy one thing from Kmart. Mark has called in. What's BS 9 times out of 10, Mark?
Hey, my brothers, what's going on?
How are you, Mark?
Good. I just got back from a 3,500 kilometre tour of the Fringe on Eyre Peninsula.
Wow.
And I can tell you that 9 times out of 10, I'm going to buy a ticket at the door, BS.
Oh, that's excellent, Mark. Good on you, Mark.
Good to have you back in Adelaide.
Funny guy. What's not funny is there's some sort of dark rumours, or not rumours, concerns over the availability of tinned beetroots and possibly even pineapples. One man who knows plenty about tinned beetroots and pineapples is Colin Dorber, who is the CEO of Lockyer Valley Foods. Colin, good morning, mate. Thank you so much for joining us. What seems to be the problem?
Gentlemen.
What's the issue and what's causing it?
Well, fundamentally, it is a supply issue, and it's driven by the fact that 98% of all the beetroot, tinned and or otherwise, is brought into Australia from places like China, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, America, the Philippines, you name it, everywhere except where it should be. Lockyer Valley was once responsible for growing 90% of all the beetroot processed in Australia, and Heinz, who bought Golden Circle, took off to New Zealand and cut the industry to the point where it's almost extinct, and we are now surviving on tinned beetroots, which suffer, of course, from the supply the supply chain issues that we're having, and also the fact that cost has gone up. And at the end of the day, what we suffer most from, particularly here in Queensland, we don't have a cannery.
Yeah,
and the only two canneries left in the country are owned either by an Arabian group of interests or the Americans. And even Edgell, people talk to me about Edgell, saying, this great Australian tinned beetroot, a small amount of which is still made, it's owned by the Americans.
Yeah.
So we don't have it.
So all that beetroot that used to be grown here, are they just growing other crops now, or did they get rid of the land? What happened to it all?
Well, that is a great question. The first issue, of course, is that they're mainly growing for the fresh market, so they're at the mercy of the supermarkets because it all matures at the same time, so all competing for the same market, so the prices are driven down. And the second issue is here in the Lockyer Valley especially, an awfully large number of cotton plantations have started to emerge, which is bad for the water supply.
You don't need to tell us that here in South Australia, mate.
No, I know. And the tragedy is we can fix it. So we've set up, we now actually have a 55-hectare block of land at a place called Withcott near Toowoomba. We have a development application approved. We're going to build over 6 years a $500 million complex. Stage one is our frozen line, which we start building this year. And we're saying to the Australian community, let's plant Australian products, grow Australian products for Australians on Australian ground. Let's create jobs.
Yeah,
for
totally.
farmers and growers, and a reason for their kids to stay in the industry. And the only way that we can do this is say to all Australians, we have established a cooperative. And if you become a lifetime member of that cooperative, you become a part owner of what we call the cannery, which is canned, frozen, fresh, juiced and powdered. And we'll be doing all sorts of crops, beetroot, pineapples, corn, beans, you name it, we will produce it. But what we need is Australians to realise food security is a consequence of Australian ownership.
Yeah.
Australian ownership means jobs, jobs, jobs. In our first year alone, once we start full production, we'll need $70 million worth of fruit and veggies, particularly beetroot, pineapples, carrots, and then later a very large tomato crop. But we want Australians to own it. We want the country to own what it grows, eat what it grows, and grow fat and rich on what it grows.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Great idea. Well, I mean, we talk about self-reliance, sovereign risk, all that sort of stuff in the defence space all the time. Why not beetroots and pineapples? Seriously, because, you know, it gets to the point we won't be able to rely on any foods unless we import it all, which is absurd. Great chat, Colin. Colin Dorber, the CEO of Lockyer Valley Foods. Cheers.
Someone sent us, John in Normanville sent us a picture of some tin beetroot he bought yesterday. So there's still availability, but...
That's from Western Australia, that one.
That one's from WA. From a Drake's. Good on you, John. Let's go to South Brighton. Dave has called into the program. Dave, what's BS 9 times out of 10?
How much did that accessory for your motorbike cost? and I'll throw it the other way, if there's a new outfit that comes into my wife's wardrobe, it was on special.
Oh, yeah, so they're always on special.
Yeah. Hey, just one other thing, talking about the beetroot and all the other stuff, we also got to really look after our minerals that we mine and we sell off overseas. We sell them off weight issues.
Yeah, good point.
It's interesting. Other countries have a different approach to it. Like in Indonesia, the nickel is a huge export factor for them now. It's used in batteries and all sorts of things, so it's going gangbusters. But they have a policy, it's in economics, it's called downstreaming, where they say, we do not export nickel. You're like, well, that's a weird thing to do. Why would you ban the export of your most precious resource? It'd be like us saying we don't export copper or coal. Iron ore. What they say is you've got to build a factory to refine it and turn it into what you want to turn it into in our country. So they invest in jobs and
have you seen the factories they've got there, they're doing it? My God.
Sure.
And they're all owned by the Chinese.
They are all owned by the Chinese.
It's becoming a big environmental issue.
It's a big environmental, but...
They keep the dough.
They keep the dough. And they employ people as opposed to just digging it out and shifting it to another country.
Beetroot is good, isn't it? I mean, and beetroot's good fresh. You boil a beetroot, you get it out, you have a bit of fish on the side, like a bit of ocean trout fillet with some beetroot and some sour cream.
Nick in Granger's got some beetroot thoughts. Morning to you, Nick.
Morning, gentlemen. The Golden Circle branded beetroot, the reason there's hardly any, if no stock at all, is because the crop's grown in New Zealand and Cyclone Gabrielle last year wiped out the entire crop. So the cyclone that hit that area of New Zealand just decimated the entire crop, the packing facility, everything was pretty much destroyed. So as you can appreciate, you can't grow a crop, in 2 months. So it's taken over 12 months to get some, stock available, which will be available in the next couple of months, hopefully. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good intel. Good
information,
beetroot intel, Nick. Thank you. Easiest thing in the world to grow, beetroot.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, easy. Real easy. Loves growing in South Australia. Is go down to Mitre 10, get some seedlings, stick them in, and, 12 weeks, you got 8 beetroot there. You should give it a whirl, Will.
I can't think about beetroot without hearing Fitzy in my ear saying, "Where's the beetroot?" And his famous line on the Subway ads that he used to do.
That's right.
Poor guy. I still remember asking him about it once, and he said, he's still at least once a week, I'll have someone who walking around the street randomly scream out, "Where's the beetroot?"
Where's the beetroot? Karen has the same advice. She says, grow and cook your own beetroot, then pickle it. It's delicious and it's better than store-bought. Good on you, Karen.
8223 the number. You can jump on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream or text us, Big 10 Ford, GW Haval, Hyundai, Isuzu, Ute, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Ram, Subaru and Volkswagen. Dutton's easy to do business with. And still, we have the unique Homestyle Foods voucher. Maybe we'll give it away at 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, let's do that.
If you haven't heard your suggestion yet come up for what's BS 9 times out of 10, the Premier has an entry. The Premier said it's when politicians talk about cost of living.
Do you reckon he's got one of those moments you wish life came with a rewind button?
Well, yes and no. It does play to he's an honest, non-politician kind of guy.
Yeah, it does actually. That's the thing.
I don't think it hurts him personally.
No.
But it might hurt next time any one of his government ministers puts out a press release.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because it depends on the politician that says it. Like, can you imagine if Albo or Peter Dutton said it?
Yeah, they wouldn't get away with it.
They would be absolutely torn apart. But a lot of people will cut him slack. And it's still this weird affection that he commands from a lot of people.
It's true. 28 minutes after 8, 5AA News Time.
Join over 60,000 Adelaide homes and say yes to lowering your energy bills with Yes, your energy saving solutions. To beat the summer heat, Yes can connect you with a new air conditioner thanks to the SA government initiative called REPS. Yes is offering eligible concession households a fully installed 2.6 kilowatt Rinnai system for only $8.99. Yes, $8.99. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from Your Energy Saving Solutions, go to yess.net.au.
Specsavers advanced hearing aid technology helps cut through the background noise, available in almost 300 stores, along with experienced audiology professionals like Catherine Launchberry.
Hi Matthew. Yes, our hearing aids can also stream music, movies, even answer the phone. We've got latest tech hearing aids to suit your lifestyle, all at everyday low prices.
And how do we know which ones are right, Catherine?
Well, hearing aids come in various shapes and sizes, and the cost is determined by the level of technology used. Specsavers audiology professionals are always here to help, with 12 months aftercare at no extra cost and a 90-day no-fuss returns policy. Plus, those eligible for the Government Hearing Services program can access hearing aids with no out-of-pocket expense. We encourage customers to shop around and compare with our upfront prices.
Sounds great. Thanks, Catherine. Head in store or visit specsavers.com.au/hearing. Always follow directions for use. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services program.
It's Edward here from Edwardstown Mazda. I can't tell the time yet, but I know it's running out to save on a 2023 Platoon Mazda. If you come in now, you'll get the best deal ever on all 2023 Mazdas. I pinky promise. And remember, Edwardstown Mazda is the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. Numo umero, baby. Now play that jingle thing.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 36 today with the 8:30 News. I'm Graham Goodings.
Chipped windscreen? Complete Windscreens can repair it from just $99. Look for the big red koala.
Investigations are continuing into a shooting at Wavell. Shots were fired at a man and a woman in an underground car park on Greenhill Road yesterday morning. Senior Constable Dave Backer says no one was injured.
Eastern District CIB and crime scene investigators are continuing their investigations into the incident. A Mercedes sedan has been towed from the scene for forensic examination. It's still very early in the investigation, however, the incident is not believed to be random at this time.
Meantime, the opposition claims South Australia's crime crisis is worsening by the day. Shadow Attorney General Josh Teague is calling on the government to review penalties for crime following a spree that includes the Wavell shooting and the North Adelaide firebombing.
Yet again, we're seeing significant increases in serious and violent crime. And to see that assaults on police are up 40% is truly disturbing.
The state government, meantime, has hit back at claims that crime is out of control. Police Minister Joe Sockarch says they're strengthening laws and the force itself is a matter of priority. Vaping is destroying the teeth of young people, leaving them with hefty dental bills. A leading dentist says some people in their 20s need work usually reserved for the elderly. The Nationals have slammed businessman Andrew Forrest after he claimed the coalition's nuclear policy is bulldust. A new opinion poll shows 55% of Australians would support the introduction of small modular nuclear reactors. The opposition believes nuclear should be considered as part of the clean energy mix. National Senator Bridget McKenzie says Mr Forrest's criticism is predictable.
I hope in the same breath he outlined his severe conflict of interest as he receives, tens of millions of taxpayer funds for his own green hydrogen energy production facilities. But, I think we're all on the journey to net zero by 2050.
The stage is set for tonight's Pink concert at Adelaide Oval. Close to 60,000 tickets have been sold. Lisa is a dedicated fan, telling 5AA she's travelled the world to see Pink.
So this will be my 33rd show seeing her tonight, since I started following her. I've been to America and just, all over Australia, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide.
There'll be free public transport for ticket holders from 3 p.m. Merch stalls will be operating outside the Oval ahead of the gates opening at 5. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
And now here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Graham. Let's start with footy. Port Adelaide forward Sam Powell-Pepper will front the tribunal tonight to learn what penalty he'll serve following his bump on Crows defender Mark Keane. Meantime, Melbourne's Clayton Oliver is set to play in the club's VFL side tomorrow. Oliver is likely to play 4 quarters for the Casey Demons in their clash with Carlton. Well, the Matildas are navigating a short turnaround ahead of tomorrow night's final Olympic qualifier in Melbourne. Having arrived early yesterday morning, they will have had just 60 hours to reacclimatise to Melbourne's heat from the frosty conditions in Uzbekistan. Goalkeeper Lydia Williams has told Today their 3-0 victory in the first leg is incredibly valuable.
Basically, one more game away, one more 90 minutes. I think it was really important to get the 3 points away from home, and I guess everyone knows how much we love playing in front of an Aussie stadium and Aussie crowd.
Meantime, West Ham has secured all 3 points against Brentford, courtesy of a 4-2 win at home in the English Premier League. Jared Bowen secured his first ever EPL hat-trick, while the result was sealed thanks to a stunning strike from defender Emerson.
Comes out to Emerson. Shoot is the cry. Shoot he does! A sensational shot. And there's no coming back for Brentford now. West Ham 4, Brentford 1.
The audio thanks to Optus, that was an absolute stunner. And in some women's cricket, Meg Lanning has captained the DC Capitals to victory over the Warriors. That's in the women's IPL with an unbeaten 51 from 43 balls. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
To protect your skin, download the SunSmart app, check the UV daily and slip, slop, slap, seek and slide.
Morning there. Got a breakdown at Croydon Park causing all kinds of headaches this morning. It's on the north-south motorway near Regency Road. Really big delays almost back to the Wingfield interchange. Smash at Mansfield Park, Hanson Road near Grand Junction Road. Another collision at Northfield, Grand Junction Road near Hampstead Road. Busy Brighton Road, Brighton with a camera Sheriffs Road at Ranella. If you own a Kia, then book your next service at the new state-of-the-art Wayne Phillips Kia Service Centre at Heath Road, Lonsdale. Search Wayne Phillips Kia for details today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
Sunny and 36 today. Tomorrow, a morning cool change, sunny 31. Thursday, cloud clearing 27. Friday, mostly sunny 29. Right now, it's 23. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Gooding.
in a broader sense, we've been a little bit too excited or complacent about. There seems to be this view. Well, it doesn't seem to be as bad as smoking, so maybe we should all vape instead.
No, it has. Like I said to you earlier, 6 months of vaping would have the same expected outcomes as 5 years of smoking. So you can see how advanced it is in its effects. And people need to take a lot of caution with regards to vaping, whether it is an appropriate alternative. You want to look at ways of lessening the dangers of vaping as much as possible, and of course, ceasing to vape is the best option. But drinking plenty of water to prevent your dry mouth, maintaining good oral hygiene, brushing twice a day, flossing, making those extra measures, visiting your dentist regularly, are very important for those people who vape. And of course, ultimately, we'd encourage people to quit vaping or smoking for that matter. And that involves staying away from triggers, people or places that often will encourage you to vape or smoke, distracting yourself from these things, looking at other therapies and motivating yourself and looking for help where appropriate.
Good advice. Yeah. Dr. Angelo Papagiorgio, the former president of the Australian Dental Association's SA branch.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
6 months could be as bad as 5 years of smoking cigarettes. And that's the campaign. Especially to a generation of young people, including men, who are increasingly image conscious because of social media and things. That's your campaign.
Yeah, you're going to look pretty ordinary on your old TikToks, aren't you, if you've got black bacteria all over your teeth.
I didn't realise that.
No, me neither.
That's a real eye-opener. What a concern. 18 minutes to 9. Have you managed to tidy up the texts, or did we need a little bit more time?
I said yesterday, it started with the galahs.
You blame this on your wife, are you?
No, no, not publicly, I'm not. I'm blaming it on you.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
You were still in charge yesterday. A lot of love for beetroot growing. People saying it's easy to do it yourself, so get into it.
All right. We have 2 lots of Gluttony tickets to give away. 2 doubles to see Simply Brill on Friday the 8th of March in the Octagon at Gluttony in Rymel Park, home of the biggest shows this fringe. Tickets from gluttony.net.au. All you need to do is call through right now on 8223 0055. 8223 0055. 2 doubles to give away. We'll give them to 2 separate people to get along and enjoy the fringe this year.
Matt Pantelis is going to be talking to the Attorney General, Kai Ma, later about the voting for the Indigenous voice. We got a lot of messages earlier on the Duttons text line about that, both for and against. Some people saying that they think the whole thing's a waste of time and money. Others saying give it a whirl, see if it works, and hopefully it's a modest advisory body that can come up with some good ideas.
I think we had some good questions that went to the eligibility of who gets to vote and where does that happen and how. I'm amazed it's next month.
Yeah, it's all around pretty fast.
I mean, we're not talking a lot. It's the 27th of February. The next month is soon.
It'd be pretty amazing. Where do they put the polling booths? Well, I suppose an election, a general election, a state election, you're going to have polling booths in Fregon and Ernabella, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
the Electoral Commission can do it.
Still, it's a big operation, isn't it?
Yeah, the data that comes out of it will be actually quite fascinating. David in Richhaven, you're off to Gluttony. David, good morning to you.
Thanks, Will.
Simply Brill is the show you'll be seeing. Have you been to the Fringe yet?
About 4 or 5 times so far.
Really?
Oh, wow.
What's your recommendation? What's the best thing you've seen?
So far, the best one I've seen is that Swamplesque, which is a bit of drag, burlesque, and it's a take on the Shrek show. So loved it. I got taken along, and it was it was an eye opener, different.
Yeah, okay.
I enjoyed it.
All right.
It was no Taylor Swift, Dave.
Yeah, doesn't sound like it.
Well, that's good, David. Always like getting a recommendation out of our winners. Thank you. You're off to the show with a friend. Joe in Seaton, congratulations. You too have won a double pass, Joe. Have you been off to see anything interesting at the Fringe?
Oh, went yesterday other day to see the Italian girls out of the Fringe.
The Italian girls?
Yeah, Prospect was at Prospect there.
And what's that about?
I forgot the name of the hall now. Yeah.
Okay, what is it? Is it dancing? Is it sort of?
No, it's a Fringe. It's one of the Fringe shows, but it's outside.
Or is it one of the many multicultural events that are held around town that are now labelled fringe shows.
Yeah, the good Italian girl, the Juicies of the 80s.
Oh, the Juzzies.
Ah, okay, right.
That's a term that's fallen from use. Juzzy. I think there'll be a lot of Greek and Italian women who are quite happy that it has fallen from use.
Yeah, that's been cancelled?
I think it's up there with Hottentots.
Yeah, Hottentots.
Good on you, Joe. Thanks for that. Good text here from Ella. What are you laughing about?
John, I didn't really get a sense of what the show was about from Joe that I was hoping to get.
My sly comment was a dig at yesterday's Tizer piece about the...
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't actually a fringe show.
Well, quite possibly.
Maybe it was just some Italian people having a meal.
Seems everything that goes on during the month of March is a fringe show.
Maybe this is a fringe show.
I think we're a fringe show.
Ella in Modbury writes, I know you moved on from the topic of big stars not coming to Adelaide because we don't have the venue. Taylor Swift played at MCG and Accor, both outdoor venues. Well, we have got the Adelaide Oval. I'm going to see Pink tonight at the Adelaide Oval. So why do we need another venue to encourage big stars here? Over the years, we've had Michael Jackson, Ed Sheeran, Adele. That is a good point. You know, if big names do want to come, the Adelaide Oval
is the argument that we've had some big names, so we shouldn't be upset about all the big names that don't come here?
I think we've got a bit of a persecution complex. And it goes back to SA's hardwired mentality pre the entertainment centre, where back then we never got big shows, or rarely got big shows. Like Springsteen, for example, never come because there was nothing.
But isn't that an argument for the new version of the entertainment centre?
Well, no, I don't think it is, because
equivalent?
people who are thrashing themselves about Taylor Swift not coming, she didn't go to Perth.
No, but Taylor
She
Swift's
didn't
a
go to
bit of an
Brisbane.
exception. I think Pearl Jam's a better example.
Pearl Jam are a better example. But, you know, we've had, as Ella said, we've had Adele, we had Ed Sheeran, we've got Pink tonight, we had the Rolling Stones, for crying out loud. Pink Floyd have played here way back. I think they played they played at Thebarton Oval, I think, from memory, when they had the big, giant inflatable pig drifting around. It's an apt analogy for the Crows headquarters, isn't it? Pigs might fly.
Is that ever happening?
I don't know. One day.
I don't. It's the one news story where no news never feels like good news.
Yeah, normally you say no news is good news, not with that one.
Glenn's called in. Morning to you, Glenn.
Good morning, guys. Just a quick one. A mate of mine works SA rigging, and he was saying that the Taylor Swift production wouldn't fit on Adelaide Oval.
I agree. It was, the stage was half the length of Stadium Australia. Half the length. So it was basically the try line and then further than the halfway mark. It was crazy.
So hang on.
But she brings all of it here.
But do they have retractable seats or something? Why would the playing surface at Homebush be any bigger than Adelaide Oval?
I think it's longer.
Why?
Well, it's not the playing surface, it's the space around it.
Right.
So because it's designed so that there's you can put an athletics track around the outside. The stadium itself is longer than the Adelaide Oval is.
The MCG's not. Is only slightly wider, but it's not longer than Adelaide Oval.
Maybe it's the area around the playing surface. Is that what you're saying, Glenn?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is if we could fit Kiss and so forth when they came, and Rolling Stones, but their stage area was, because when they put it up, it goes up towards the old signboard.
Yeah,
and because that's elevated, it's not flat. That's apparently the reason why they couldn't put it here.
Okay. The other thing too is because of the close on and offside boundaries, you wouldn't get anywhere near as many A tickets on the grassed level.
But what about the MCG? They have the exact same situation.
But I think they offset that because they got so many seats in the outer.
Because they got some more stadium seating.
Oh,
it doesn't matter about
like
on the ground
70,000 more
area.
Stadium seats. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't understand. You could physically, I mean, there must be some extra vagary to it because the playing surface is negligible, the size difference.
I think Ella made a good point though. That
people should stop whinging.
With the exception of Taylor Swift, we can still pull it off, and more often than not we do. We still get a lot of big bands.
Yeah, I don't think the argument is we don't get any big bands. It's that enough big bands don't come. Danny, good morning.
So we spend what, $500 million to fix that problem, do we?
No, well, we spent a lot of money to attract Liv
You're doing
Gold.
Stephen Marshall's bidding.
Well, no, let's think about this logically. We spend a lot of money to bring golfers here. We spend a lot of money to bring all the AFL games here because we're told there is a economic impact of that investment. I think if you could prove that over the long haul, like it was with the entertainment centre, that investment pays dividends to publicans and hoteliers and so forth in South Australia, I think that'd be a totally reasonable investment.
Yeah, well, if there's a business case for it.
If you can't, there's no argument.
Yeah.
Like, you want to see the working out. But I don't think it's immediately, it's too much money, so we shouldn't do it. We make investments all the time in entertainment.
Correct.
Danny, good morning.
Good morning, guys. If a third world country like South Africa and all those places can have world-class stadiums purposely built, every time you have a person here, you're going to rip the grass out. That's going to cost $2 or $3 million at the MCG. It might not be ready for the footy. Just build a purpose stadium and get over it. Fright me. We're always behind the eight ball. The economic benefits are huge, massive. Look what it did to Melbourne. And build it and they'll come. You've got, it's just unbearable how we just keep knocking this stuff back, where they waste so much money on insignificant projects that bring absolutely nothing to this state. Get your act together, build a proper stadium, purposely built, so you don't have to replace 60,000 square metres of grass every time someone comes here. It's our beautiful oval, Adelaide Oval, and now you're going to destroy it by putting these things on. Build a purpose stadium. Build it and they'll come, like Moses said. Build the bloody thing and they'll come.
Good on you, Danny.
Was that what Moses says?
I'm not sure.
I think that was Field of Dreams, wasn't it?
You're the one with the religious education. The dimensions are Adelaide Oval, 167 metres by 123 metres. MCG, 174 metres. So pretty much the same length.
For the width.
By 149 metres.
Maybe the 16 metres makes the difference. Matt on the text line says the MCG fits 100 people. The Adelaide Oval only seat about 40 with the Swift style setup. Yeah, but the caller was about the proportions of the staging. It was a rigging call, not about the size of the audience.
It is still such an amazingly divisive issue because you get calls like Glenn firing up big time, and then you just get other emphatic ones like this one from W saying, no way, total waste of money, and we don't need to waste another cent on any more entertainment-related events or venues. So there you go.
7 minutes to 9. Let's check traffic. When the UV's 3 and above, cover up your sun protection. Stay sun smart. Download the Sun Smart app.
Thanks, Will. At Croydon Park, a breakdown on the north-south motorway near Regency Road. At Paradise, a smash on Gorge Road near Newton Road. Brooklyn Park, car fire, Sir Donald Bradford Drive near Airport Road. I've got work slowing things up today at Edwardstown, South Road near Ackland Street. Cameras, Harris Road, Vale Park and Hillier Road at Brunella. Williams Legal Aid Your Family, will planning and estate legal specialists. For Adelaide's leading barristers and solicitors, visit williamslegal.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
On 5AA mornings today, 113 people have nominated for the SA Voice to State Parliament. We'll discuss that with Attorney-General Kaya Ma. And the Adelaide City Council meeting tonight will look at contesting motions about whether a fence should be built around the Comets soccer pitch at Ellis Park in the West Parklands for national soccer games to be held there. Those topics and a lot more, your calls too. I'm Matthew Pantelis. Look forward to your company from 9.
When you're a market-leading builder like Regent Homes, you never rest on your laurels. It's why Regent Homes is South Australia's only builder offering 3D virtual reality technology in their Envision Design Studio. At your first design meeting, you'll walk through your home in virtual reality. It's a wow moment, enriching your experience so you can make the right design choices from the start. Regent Homes. Innovative design, elevated living. Visit regenthomes.com.au.
Mercedes is on now at Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unley. With remarkable savings and 3 years of complimentary scheduled servicing on Mercedes-Benz demonstrator models. These offers are only available for a limited time, so shop online or visit Mercedes-Benz Adelaide at 20 Sir Donald Bradman Drive or Mercedes-Benz Unley, corner of Crossroad and Unley Road today. Terms and conditions apply.
Fair Price Blinds offer a huge range of indoor and outdoor window coverings right here in Adelaide. As the weather cools down, we're celebrating with a mega end of summer sale. Grab a bargain on outdoor blinds, including Zip Track and Zip Screen, awnings, roller shutters, and veranda blinds to all your indoor essentials, including roller blinds, plantation shutters, and more. As a proud South Aussie business, we understand the needs for your home this autumn. Browse our product range online or visit our Kilburn showroom today. fairpriceblinds.com.au.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
5 minutes to 9. Let's have a look at the fuel situation. Find out where the cheapest fuel is in an instant with the free RAA app. There are still some outlets in the $2 range, but you can find it for under $1.82. The United Hanson Road Woodville North's at $1.75.9. The OTR Oaklands Road Glengarry's at $1.75.9. The Mobile Northeast Road Valley View $1.76.5. The Ampol Grand Junction Road Kilburn is $1.75.9. Big Pink concert on tonight. 56,000 tickets have been sold at the Adelaide Oval. Heaps of listeners are going along. Turns out there's a fair few people that are already down there at the ground waiting. Sam Daddo was down there a short time ago, chatting with some of Pink's Adelaide diehard fans.
Now, I'm with Lisa. I'm assuming you're a massive Pink fan by the T-shirt you're wearing. Have you seen her before?
Yeah, so this will be my 33rd show seeing her tonight, yeah.
33rd?
Yeah, out of since I started following her back, since I'm not dead, so yeah.
How many places have you travelled to see her?
I've been to America, and just, all over Australia, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide. I'm going to Brisbane, I'm going up to Townsville to see her as well, yeah.
So you're definitely a super fan?
If you can call it that, yeah.
I'm now joined by Nicole, Cam and Dan. Now, Nicole, I'm liking your outfit, bit of pink going on, of course. How long have you been a fan?
I had a choice to go to her concert, Christina, back in when I was 9, and since then it was just nuts, so can't wait to see her again.
Cam, what are you most looking forward to?
Everything. I'm so excited.
Seeing her flying would be great.
Yeah. Vocals, amazing. It's my 7th time. Really excited.
7th time. Have you seen her all in Adelaide, or have you travelled around?
Sydney, Melbourne, and here.
Dan, what's your favourite song of Pink?
On the spot.
I don't know, I love all the songs, but I've taken the day off work, so hi Emily, hi Sarah, if you can hear me.
Have you taken the day off work properly, or you have called a sickie?
I have. So, looking forward to the show. It's going to be great, and we've all been here since last night, so we're true fans.
There are a few tents here, a bit of a Pink community going on. Oh, everyone helping each other?
Yeah, everyone's really, really respectful and nice, so it's awesome when that happens. Makes it a very great experience.
Pink, if you can hear us, bring us some food today.
Thanks, guys.
Not sure about the food. She'll be bringing a great show. Great to have. She's very loyal to Adelaide too. Been to Australia in 2002, 4, 7, 9, 13 and 18. Now 2024. Every single time she's included Adelaide on the tour as well.
Be a lot of fun. Be a great show.
And if you are listening, Pink, David's got some more kayaking tips for you. If you want to carry up that conversation you had back in 2002.
A lot of messages. Someone suggested the Glenelg River, which is a bit of a hike because it's down near Mount Gambier.
Well,
apparently it's beautiful for kayaking down there.
Charter a chopper or something?
Yeah, why not?
That's all from us. Matt Pantelis is coming up, and we'll catch you tomorrow morning from 6.
Curious about exploring the world with award